this thing going. Hello, everybody. I am so sorry. It took an extra few minutes to get on. Hey, at least I'm not hours late. I'm just a few seconds late, or a minute or two late. Hi, how are you? It's me, David Oman, coming to you live from the Oman House. Yes, whoops, that's Sharon Tate in my head. Hello, Ramon. Had an interesting day today, to be honest with you. I had a visit from a dear friend of mine, Scott Michaels. You guys might be familiar with him as from Dearly Departed Tours. So Scott Michaels came out today to do an interview with me. Hi, Michael. Hi, Jerry. I'm going to share this. Oh, please, by all means, share away. Hi, IGK. I don't even remember me, but we used to talk on Facebook. I can't remember me as JT or Cut is. But yeah, I wanted to say howdy. Nice to see you. Please, I do recall you barely. It's been a while since we've obviously conversed. Hello, Ramon. Hello, Foggy Morning. Hey, Dana. How are you? Thomas, of course. Thomas is always in Dallas, saying hello and watching from Dallas. Hi, Vic. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hi, Sandy. Hi, PJ. Hi, Jill. Hi, Tara. I don't know if I'm supposed to sit there and dart my eyes off to the left, to your guys, to my right, to read these. Everybody say hello. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Daniel. You know what I'm going to do tonight to make it extra special? Probably in about like a half an hour, we're going to go do call-in so you guys can actually call in. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Edith. Hey, Marissa. But as I was saying to you, the whole reason why I went on is because it was a funny, not only just interview, but just the hi, Lily. Hi, David. Hi, Marissa. The crazy stuff. Hello, Enzis. Hi, Unknown. I was going to say Kansas boy. How are you? But I like Unknown better because it's just so much more curious. Hey, Daniel. I wish we'd come party at your house. Yeah, Daniel, it is a party at my house 24/7 with the spirits here. But as I was trying to say, and I'll get back to this, Scott came over and he probably interviewed me for about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. And all of a sudden, hey, Sarah, he picks up the phone. He goes, God, the phone's hot. I said, what's wrong? He goes, no, it's overheating. I said, overheating? He goes, is that? And then he says, well, it's because it's on the tripod and the mount's, reflecting the heat back up into the battery. And I'm looking like this going, all right, let me ask you, Scott, you use that tripod a lot for your video podcasts and your interviews and your videos. And he goes, yeah. I said, has it ever happened before? He goes, no. I said, so what makes you think that today, this special day, all of a sudden that tripod and that camera that you've shot so many videos on is all of a sudden now malfunctioning? And he looked at me and goes, just, he just didn't want to admit it. And then the second curious thing is he brought his 3 batteries, all which were supercharged, powered up and ready to go. And he left the charger at home, so he didn't think he needed them. Well, after the first battery finally crapped out, he went to the second and third battery, and they were both dead. So he ended up having to shoot the rest of the interview on his cell phone. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Ren. Hey, Fata. Hey, Jill. Hey, Foggy. What Foggy says, I see the kitty in the back there on the seat. Oh, Sam. Wrong side. I'm sorry. Reverse. Samantha. Watch this. Sam. All right, you're not dead. My first concern was when she stopped and wasn't reacting at all. I was going, cat's dead? Shit. Hey, what's spooky? Yeah. Hey, Brad. Hey, JP. Good evening. So scary. No, the cat being not, Hey, Brent. So I said when my cat woke up then, well, you saw her shift. I didn't. I'm looking at you and I'm not paying to that little speck of, that right there. I'm going to squeeze your head. You're going to crush your head, crush your head, crush your head. I'm kidding. Do you ever regret letting Zach back in to investigate there? Good question, honey. God, that is a seriously deep question. On so many levels, I do regret it. But on so many levels, I have to admit that, look, it got me a lot of attention and a lot more exposure. And, the controversy itself made a lot of people, aware of my home. So it's really hard to say, there's an old saying, you got to take the good with the bad, because there's nothing that's ever going to be a rainbow and sunshine for the honest to God's truth. There's always parts of every bargain you make that are a little bit distasteful and not pleasant. In life in general, you can't get everything you want. That's why there's things as negotiations and try to minimize the exposure. But in the long run, you got to take the good with the bad. It's comes with the territory. Get that out. I don't need to need that. I have the Le Corbusier Chaise. Oh, you mean that one? Yeah, I love that thing. That bad boy. God, this is a design, a piece of art as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not selling you guys this, because this is not, by any stretch of the imagination, the couple thousand, I think it was like $5,000 to get the authentic version. This is, of course, a knockoff. But let's be clear, it is identical in almost every way, shape, and form as the original. So I love it anyways, regardless of the fact that it's not, the original. What do we got? Hey, you tops. Stay back in the group again. I need. Thanks, more. I was reading what Brent said. Oh, very funny. Very funny. God, the TheOmanHouse fix. Oh, God, Brent, you're killing me. I admire you. Great sense of humor. Well, thanks, honey. I appreciate that. I try. I guess without a sense of humor, I wouldn't be here alive, because too many things in this world, can wear you down, grind you down, and, basically beat you to the pulp. And if you don't laugh and find a way to look at it and find the humor, as my mother said, you're dead, because it'll kill you. I mean, let's be honest. Stress is stress. And without a sense of humor, you can't ride through the hell was that? Was that you, Ma? That wasn't the cat, I'll tell you that. No, the cat's sitting there on his ass. So, that's just the way it is. Then I'm curious, why did they tear them? Well, Sandy, the honest to God's truth is money. It wasn't that the house was tainted by the blood of it. It was a small house. It's a huge lot. It didn't make sense not to tear it down. And I'm just talking about from a developer's point of view, as my father was a builder, designer, and architect. It wouldn't make sense to leave the house there for all intent and purposes. But that's not that I endorsed the piece of crap that sits there now. It's absolutely just horrific. I mean, I've been in there during the construction when Mr. Weintraub invited my father to take a look and try to interest him. That was the dog. In buying the property. But it was a pile of crap when Mr. Weintraub, the builder of the person responsible for the demolition of the Tate property, and then the construction of what was called Villa Bella. I'm not going to say it. Sorry. Almost got the cat out of my tongue. But it's just an absolute abomination. I'm sorry. I don't care for 25-foot high ceilings in a living room. I'm a little more practically based in the fact that I'm very pleased with a 12-foot high ceiling in my living room, but to go any further up is an absolute, just who needs it? What am I trying to prove to whom in a sense of my grandiosity and my ostentatiousness to go, look at the size of the space I can waste in this property. And it's like, yeah, when you think about it, if there's a second story, yeah, and you don't have an elevator in that room, in that house, yeah, you're going to be walking up 2 flights of stairs to get 1 floor up. I'm talking about practical terms of how you build a house. I was brought up by parents, and my father was a builder, designer, architect. So I'd seen constructions and I'd seen architecture and modern homes and stuff. And that's one thing I kind of learned as a child and through my experiences to understand a little bit more about. And if you're not building a freaking hotel or a casino, there's no freaking reason to have a room with a 25-foot high ceiling in a residence. I'm sorry, unless it's a movie theater. And even then, you got to remember proportionality. If you build a screen that's 20 feet by, what is it, 16 by 9. So 20 feet by, I forgot what if the height is 20 feet, which you would say in a 25-foot hall, 25-foot tall hall, the length would probably be about 40 feet. Right? That's too, something about 40 feet. And then you got to remember, most importantly, is about perspective. You're going to want about a 60-foot space between that gosh darn screen and your ass sitting there watching that screen, because you're going to otherwise be like this going, you can't take it all in because it's so close to your perspective. It's like, oh shit, it's like sitting in the front row at a motion picture movie theater. It just doesn't work. Now let me catch up. Wacky Z got the door to that house. Yeah, Scott and I discussed that whole thing. I originally left that house. Yeah, he was in that. He was very much a part of that era. It's amazing. Land is worth more than memories. Well, sorry, Sarah, but I'll be honest with you. Memories can be downed in a quick flash of a second, and nobody that's a fan in 50 years more is going to care less about it and miss that place. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not, it's kind of like a fading memory in the sense that as the murderers pass away, there'll be less and less and less and less and greater diminishing interest in the Sharon Tate murders is what I was talking to Scott about. Shares like that. I'm just trying to catch up to the messages so far. I'm curious. All right. So true. Terrace, I really enjoy the live streams. I will. I pretty much think so. That Atlanta's one of those I trying to connect. Do you see me trying to connect to you, Edith? I don't understand what you're referring to. So if you could post a comment to answer that, I'd appreciate it. What's the craziest thing? Oh God! As you ask that question, I'm having a flood of memories of, wow, so many things. I mean, God, and a lot of them I really wouldn't want to say on any format, television or whatnot. I wouldn't want to do it because there's things that I've seen and experienced that are too, out of respect for the people, both living and dead, that these different situations that I was privy to, I wouldn't, out of respect for their memory and their being and their presence, if they're alive, I would honor that which I know. I just don't kiss and tell, and I don't tell stories about sensational experiences I've had because, as my mother said, you wouldn't want that done to you, now would you? And I said, you know something? If it's nothing that I would want, if I was in their shoes, to be publicized, then I won't say it. Just out of common courtesy and respect. Oh, but I will tell you something that happened to me that's in the list. It's towards the bottom of the list, but it's a funny story because it happened here at the house and I don't care for the person. And respect is the last word would come to mind when it came to her and her behavior here. It was more like antics, let's be honest. So let me just first catch him, see what else we got here. Jason Insider Revolution. Yes, he was very, very true. Wait, come back down here. Stop that. The guy that was going to come to your home for the anniversary. Okay, DJ. Don't remember which anniversary that was, but just trying to catch up with this. How's it goes tonight? Yeah, it goes pretty good today. This is 1908. Railing it flat, small rooms. Yeah, but that's 1911. That's a Victorian style. It was all compartmentalized. This is not that. This is a large, tall living room that goes down, that you, to get into, you have to walk down this freaking marble floored corridor. And on both sides, you have, what are these goddamn 16 foot tall marble columns I'm sorry, but I don't get into the Louis the 14th type of chateaus in France look. To me, it's not. It's way out of whack. And that's the place itself, the way it is just no, thank you. I wouldn't. I don't find it anything of redeeming. There are very few redeeming qualities that I find in that home. And here's the thing: worst off is there's a 30,000 square foot mega mansion being built right above that property with a 10,000 with an additional 10,000 square foot subterranean discotheque that's being built right on top of that property. So any value that it once had has gone down the John, because when that guy finishes building his monstrosity of a structure that looks right down into your backyard, I don't give a rat's ass how wonderful your backyard is and how ostentatious it is. You got some monkey guy up above you that's going to be playing music and doing parties every other night, because that's his track record when he lived in the Mulholland Estates. And after 1 year, the residents in the community decided to band together and have him booted out of the residence, the private gated community, which is almost unheard of, because you really have to do something so horrendous and you have to piss off a whole hell of a lot of neighbors to get a consensus to move against one person. And those homes are over $20 million plus each, minimum. At least back then. They've gone up since. But the idea is that you got to be a pretty strong character to push that many people over the edge to want you removed from that kind of a gated and cloistered community. So that's who's going to be your neighbor above you. I wouldn't want to be there. And it's just going to be a crazy ass party house, from what I understand. And that's how he's building it. It's just a crazy ass party. So, I mean, luckily, I'm fortunate because I'm the very, very, very tail end of his property. So the odds are that I'll be spared for the most part, the loud music and all the goings on. But everybody to that side of my home and further down, including that property at the end of the drive, they're going to get blasted and bombarded with the acoustic sound of maybe a rock concert at the Coliseum in downtown LA on an every other night basis. So that's why he's trying so desperately to remove himself from that home and having that around. And I don't blame him. They fought tooth and nail to not let that construction go on, but. You know, the old saying, the almighty dollar wins out, and the county and the city decided that, saying the kind of money they're going to make in tax revenue from that one home every year, which is going to go up every year because the appreciation and the value will go up. That thing is just going to be a cash cow for the county. So that's where they thought about it. How the ghost are good. They're having good. 8-foot ceiling is 8-foot ceiling is what I have in my bedrooms, but in the living room and in the theater room, and that's the top floor and the third floor both have 12-foot high ceilings. So, hi from Oz, Ian. Lane. Sorry about that, Lane. I just saw the AI and I say, oh, it's Ian. And it's like, uh-oh. Sorry about Alma. Yeah, how's Jeffrey? Haven't seen him in forever, Brent said. Neither have I, Brent. I haven't spoken to Jeff in a couple of years. So, I assume he's doing well. A little echoey Fata says, yeah, just a little echoey. I'm an English cottage kind of woman, Audra. I'm sure I can appreciate that. Yeah, as Foggy, as you said, that's when I went inside the Valentino property across the way. I was dumbstruck because it's a typical Sam. All right, that wasn't the cat and it wasn't the dog. There's no action behind me, but somebody's there. As I was saying, it's this typical Victorian type of a home. You have a parlor where you walk in and it's a small room and there's an alcove to another room and then an alcove to another room. It's just all compartmentalized and it's very, very claustrophobic from my standpoint. So that's why the house that my father built is the exact opposite. It's open. It has few walls and has a very much open space floor plan. I want to catch up to see what happened. How the return phone call go the other night? Oh, Shannon, that was fine. I've been speaking to Stacy a couple times. I spoke to her last night as well. No, she's legitimate. I know what we said when she called the first time, and we said it was a scam. It turns out that it's not. So it's all good, thank God. We are coming from Wisconsin. When are you guys coming out from Wisconsin, DJ? Let me know. That's an amazing show. Thank you very much, Lori. I appreciate that. Bobby, what exactly mean miss you and the house man? What's the house man? That's curious. In the house, comma, man. Oh, now I understand. I was saying, because the way it was written, no offense, but when you read it, miss you and the house man. And I thought I meant house man. In any event, Eileen, nice to see you. I feel you and your house. Well, thank you, Edith. I appreciate that. Hey, Gemini, how's East Tennessee treating you? I called you directly on the phone. Yeah, but DJ, when was that? All right, let's go back to catch up to everything said. Dirt turned and tossed, and you can't even. Even though the dirt was turned and tossed, you can't erase. No, you can't erase what happened at the Menendez brothers' house. It's going to be there. It's part and parcel to the property. Well, I think it's now that they don't even have to disclose that somebody died on the property anymore unless they ask, because it's been so many years and they wrote that into the property code that you don't have to do that. Which to me is kind of unsettling to buy a piece of property, live there, move in, and somebody goes, this is where the Tate property. What? Are you serious? I didn't know. And it would certainly freak some people out to find out that the property you owned, as an example, was where the Menendez brothers killed their parents. I mean, it's just, to me, it's like, no, I'm sorry. If the stain is on the property, the stain remains on the property for the duration for what is it? For in perpetuity. Means forever. Why? For the same reason you said you can't erase it, but they're trying their hardest to do exactly that. Hey, let me catch up. I'll finish the story about what the humorous experience that I had here in the house 13 years ago. That's still the funniest thing I've ever had happen. I'm pretty dynamic. Fata said, absolutely right, bro. Ricky, thank you, Ricky. Give me a wrench. What moderators? I don't have any fucking. I have no moderators. I can't even moderate my own commentary. Please. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, DJ. I am doing best as possible. Was that Norb next to your head when you stood up? Dana, I am honestly reading the commentary on the right, so I'm not paying much attention to this, and then I'm returning my attention back to this so you guys can see me. Where can I buy rent? The movie is right now on Vimeo, Vimeo, and you can just type in House at the End of the Drive, or go to houseattheendofthedrive.com and click the link that is right there on the front page where you can rent it. It's $3.99 for a 3-day rental. Are you able to tell us whose spirit's most active? Well, Jessica, that would be a lot easier to do if I had the yellow pages or the directory of who's visiting, but literally because there's so many spirits that are proliferating the house, for lack of better words, it's kind of hard to, how should we say, nail down who in fact it is that is doing their damnedest to be. But you know what I'm going to do just for the hell of it, because I looked at this and I said, this isn't even turned on. So let's flip the switch here. Where can I put you so you can see me? Where? Here? No, wrong goddamn. Shut! All right, can you shut up already? Here, there, can you stay there? I know I'm touching you. Stop it. He touches himself, he says. So we'll leave that there. That's a proximity beacon, meaning it works from the Ferriman principle. So as you get closer to this antenna, see that? See how close? I'm literally not even an inch and a half away from it, and it's already reacting. So as I get closer, the strength of the activity generates light. It goes from the audio to the light, and the closer you get, the more lights you get. So literally, when I'm on top of it, it peaks in the sound, the acoustic signature, and all 4 lights light up. Otherwise, since I don't have my cell phone anywhere near here or around here, it's genuine. So the odds of it happening are pretty minuscule. And Domino, nice to see you. That's my black and white cat, Domino, who's tearing up the top of the tall chair. Domino, that's not a scratch post or a cat toy, please. Well, that's what happens when you have 3 cats and a dog. They tear things up and piddle all over the place. So you got to get used to it. How did you enjoy your time? Oh, no name. I had a great time with them. How could you not? I mean, they're funny as hell. They're interesting, and they, I love Michael and Jess. I think they're great. We're gonna. So, are you to tell us the whole spirits and most? So I hope that answered your question, Jessica. No, they're great. I love them. I wish they had more time to actually come back and do another show. And I just spoke to Michael I think it was last Thursday, and he is swamped. I mean, he has become such a major player in the social media influencer community and videos. It's just like he's packed. He's going to Europe. They're going to Europe for a whole season. So, they're off in the distance doing their things. Let me just catch up. Well, thank you, Audra. I appreciate that very much. Fata, this chat is pretty congenial. No trolls or yeah. Shit posters. That's the best. I've never heard the word shit poster. I like to call them twat waffles for lack of a better term. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Or was it replay is for yeah, well, Red Baron, right now behind right there. Oh, son of a bitch. I had queued up on the monitor over here on the big screen projector that I wanted to show you the 2 clips from today that I'm going to put together for a little YouTube video that I'm going to show you what happened with Scott Michaels here, because it's just so funny to hear him go, yeah, no, he's just explaining it away. And then when we went to the laundry room, all of a sudden he had problems with his battery again. And he says, that's not working either. The pup is interested. That was funny. Yeah, I think so. I yell shut up when I watch some TV shows and use the boxes loudly to go through. Hold it. I yell shut up when I watch some TV shows. Well, so do I. I constantly find myself arguing back at the television commentators. I swear to God. And that would be a funny gosh darn show. It's like, you stupid goddamn, what are you, idiots? What are you not getting the picture? That's not what happened. So I can relate to that. But what was this? It goes, and they use the boxes that loudly go through radio frequencies. Foggy, who uses boxes that loudly go through? That you got to explain to me. Of the planchette table in the background. Yeah, that's. I just told that to Scott today, that this artist, Joey Moss, Maas. You can go to joeymoss.com and you can see for yourself some of his art. He is a phenomenal what's the words I'm looking for again? So I forgot there's a word that describes what an artist works in, what type of format. Is it clay? Is it painting? Is it drawing? Is it sketch? Is it, sculptures or whatnot? Joey is a multifaceted, talented artist. He painted the 3 Sharon pieces. He created that. There you go. This right here. Ooh, gotcha. The planchette for me is a gift. He's made posters. He's made handbags. That's where they come up with the little douchebag and the big douchebag. Mr. Beckham says, check your text message. I can't. That would be totally rude. I'll have to look upon that after we get through the show. But not yet. Not now. I can't do that to these people. Hey, Scott. How are you? Yeah. I yell at the screen occasionally. Has the table? No, the table's never moved. And the funny thing is when Joy made it, get this, it had flat pads at the bottom of the legs. And I'm like, Joey, it's supposed to be mobile. And he goes, no, it's a table. I said, yeah, but you can put caster wheels on. So I went out and spent a few bucks and got caster wheels for it. And I said, now it's a fucking table. Because I can't imagine you have a Ouija board planchette shaped table and it doesn't move. I mean, it defeated the purpose of me buying the gosh darn rug. You can see, by the way, you guys can see that, can't you? The rug that the dog is sitting on, you see that's a Ouija board. I think I bought that at Etsy, but the point was, it's like, it's got to roll. It doesn't defeats the purpose of having this stupid thing. So someone's going to essentially use them. You're not going to get me ever until I die to endorse spirit boxes, be it the Frank's box, be it the spirit box, be it the Echovox, be it the ghost communicator. All of those things I have found have a lot of issues. And the worst part about it is the more modern versions have microphones. So they're eavesdropping your conversations when you're doing whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, and it starts to pick up the tones and the voice and the thought, the words that you're using. So it's just like Siri. Got me? So if that son of a, you know what, box is listening to your conversations and you're in this location that it's predicated upon knowing where you are, I'm sorry, furthermore, I don't need them because here in this house, I've got the cameras. You see that camera? No, you see that camera right there. Whoops, right? No, son of a bitch, up there. That's one of the 26 video cameras, CCTV cameras that are in the house running 24/7. I have voices recorded when I'm not actively searching for spirits. I don't know Sam and Colby. I've never met them, so I can't say what I think of them because I don't. Let me just, I love the table too. Someone, let's go send, I need a coffee. Very funny, Eileen. What do you think? Yeah, I don't know. I never watched their stuff. I generally don't watch a lot of the stuff because they all try to emulate Zach Baggins and the drama queen of queens. Sorry, the drama queens of the paranormal making, oh my God, did you see that? And I'm going, no, I got to see your stupid looking expression on your stupid face while you were reacting to something that I have no idea what it is because your camera is facing this way instead of facing that way towards the action. And instead of watching the action that you're experiencing, I'm getting to see you look like a goof. Did you hear that? Oh my God. I felt this. I felt that. Oh my God. It gets a little boring. I'm not into drama. I'm not into the fraud of people having a reaction to something they think that's happening to them and making a whole hell of a lot out of. I just find it to be a little bit redundant, dull, boring. And the fact that every single one of these guys goes out to the same freaking place that somebody else has been before. It's like, wow, how many times can I stand seeing the gosh darn, what's her face, Lindsay Borden or the Whaley House? I'm just like, and the worst part is, and I'll be honest with you, what they consider evidence is meager by compared to what I have captured here in the house. And I'm not being braggadocious and I'm not being cuntish about it. I'm being quite clear. Hearing some funny sound that somebody's in the back room dropping a pen and they're saying it's paranormal is not interesting to me. I want something that's credible, that's plausible, that's been verified and been gone through. As much as I can say, I try to do the same thing that I'm speaking to you about here with any video that's on my channel has been double, triple checked by other people. Plus, I've got cameras throughout the entire house. So if I have the opportunity before I go post anything, which I always do, I look at the rest of the video cameras around the house to look for the first and most obvious rational explanation for the activity or the noise or the occurrence, to dismiss it first, so that I'm not posting something that's of questionable credibility and of, let's just put it this way, easily debunked. Because there's one thing that I've said before and I'll say again. You have credibility, and it's just like you're a virgin. When you lose your virginity, you can't get it back. Same with your credibility. When you lose your credibility and are proven to be a fraud or a fake or a partake in such acts and try to perpetrate a fraud or deliberately try to con the audience, you don't get that credibility back. You're done. And as far as I'm concerned, when somebody proves to me that they're not worthy of the credibility that they purport to have and the integrity that they speak so highly of, and there's little there, I don't have much use to be watching them anymore, because what's the value of knowing that somebody's pulling or trying to pull off a scam on you and try to make money out of it? I mean, basically, that's it. All of these kids that you're mentioning, they have Patreons, and they're like making money from it. The virtual panhandlers, I call it. That's great. Glad to hear it. But if you're going to do that, at least do good work. And if you're doing for entertainment purposes, God damn it, be open and honest with your audience and saying, look, this is like a theatrical ghost investigation, i.e., we're not giving you real information, and we're not giving you real evidence. We are, in fact, creating stuff to make you entertained. Just like television, just like on every single one of these paranormal reality, investigative shows, they always have this disclaimer: this is for entertainment purposes only. Boom. Meaning anything from this point to the end of this show could be faked. And you guys are looking at it, taking it hook, line, and sinker, and swallowing it like it's the gospel. And I go, well, to each his own, but don't be fooled if you find stuff that's not credible down the road from these individuals that you're watching. You were warned. So always take it with a grain of salt. I need a coffee table. Locked in the other bedrooms. Mr. Beckham. I don't know. I went down there today with Scott, and the door was unlocked. So again, I don't know. In the whole 22 years I've lived here, I think that locking of the bedroom door was the first and only time that's happened. That door. The bathroom door over here, I will tell you, right around the corner here, that's happened over 100 times to me. And obviously, it's only good when it's the worst time when you need to go to the bathroom. You go to the door and the door's locked. And guys, you'll know what I'm talking about. You got to go to the bathroom so bad, and it's like, I can't take a step. No. I don't have a choice, because I don't have a pair of keys in my pocket to be able to put in the gosh darn the bathroom lock and just turn it to pop the lock. I have to mosey on over 25 feet into the kitchen to grab a goddamn butter knife to go to the gosh darn lock to pop the lock to get the access to the bathroom. And it's the worst feeling. It's like I've said it a number of times saying, you pricks, you really just love to see me squirm, don't you? And I'm holding my own, going, don't go to the bathroom in your pants. Don't go. Hold on. Hold it. Get back to the door and pop that like we got that damn door open. Get into the toilet quick. So it's kind of funny when it's happened so many times here. I'm accustomed to it. But down there, never before. So that was the first time that's happened. Lane, is it just Gaelic spelling? Oh, my dev. All right, no problem, Lane. I understand. Again, it was my mistake for seeing Ian. I was like, what did I? Dyslexia. I must be developing as an old man. What is your take on the recent death of O.J. Simpson? I'm so sorry. I don't know exactly how to address that, because it's kind of so out of left field. What is your take on the death of O.J. Simpson? O.J. Simpson died. The end. I mean, I don't know what else you want from me. You didn't exactly put it in terms of, do I think he did the murder? Do I think that, I mean, what's my take? All right, he died. He lived in Las Vegas and he died. Did I ever meet him? Let's just say I didn't meet him per se, but we were both on the same field. I think it was a baseball practice when I was a kid over at the Barrington Recreational Center over on Barrington, just south of Sunset Boulevard. And he and Marcus Allen used to go play football. Used to, a bunch of him and a bunch of other pros would be there because they all lived in the area in Brentwood, and they would congregate there and have like throwing the football around, like playing around and, goofing around and throwing and playing, tag football and whatever. And adjacent to where they were playing was the baseball diamond that we used to practice at. So I remember very, very vividly back in the 70s, him being there, mid 70s, goddamn, 74, 75, mid to late, mid 70s when I was a kid playing baseball, and he was there, and we'd all like going, oh my God, there's Marcus Allen, oh my God, there's OJ, and they're playing. And in the 80s when I used to go there to hang out with my friends, just to hang out, to just, reminisce and hang out at the baseball time, and we would always see them playing, and it was like, just like a bunch of kids. I mean, big kids, mind you, but just having a blast on the football, on this big grassy field and playing football. And it was a blast. I mean, I never thought anything bad of OJ, until what took place and all that, happened. But I mean, to me as a kid, he was just, unfortunately, I'm a UCLA fan. So OJ and Marcus Allen, they garnered my respect for their personal accomplishments, but far from me giving a rat's ass to have them sign a football for a collectible because I'm a diehard Bruin. So no, I mean, that's it. Paint your floor like a Ouija. No, sorry, Joe. I'm not that committed into doing that to this floor, and then decides like, no, I want to move. It's like, that's too permanent of a thing to do that I wouldn't do. I have fine, no problems. Oh, fucking son of a bitch. You goosed me, and it was my fault. I got it. I thought I had some paranormal activity. Eileen, that would be crazy. It wouldn't be cool. It would be an absolute abomination to the floor. Who do you think haunts your house? Psychics have given their thoughts, I'm sure. I'll get right back to that, Ren. Am I being so negative just because you don't like something that has to do with the paranormal? So please don't be negative here in chat. Oh, Foggy. What did Foggy say? Back it up. I missed it. The Sally House. I'm sick of that place. Oh, right. You have a point with the Conjuring House. The original family that went and lived there and has the whole story based on what the Warrens had to say was, as they said, as I heard on an interview, said half the crap that they said purported to have happened here didn't happen. They embellished a lot. They made hay out of it. They were pushy. They were the embellishment of crackheads pushing their gosh darn agenda on us. When they finally sold the house a few years ago, the new man that bought it turned it into a commercial business. Sorry, but when the people from the Conjuring House Live came to talk to me about doing something here at the house and then told me that they wanted me to leave the house for several days while they shot, and I'm the only person that's ever lived in this house and resided in this house. And I looked and I said, no fucking way. I said, who the hell do you think you are? I said, I'm not letting you stay in my house to shoot your show and not be here. And I said, apropos of what you did with the Conjuring House Live, you mean where the man who just bought the house recently cut a financial beneficial deal for him, for you to do the show here. And he said to you, and as I saw on the show, he isn't leaving the property. He's going to be on the property the whole duration of that shoot. So, but you're telling me that he who just bought the property should stay in the home that he just bought and has no connection to the original story or anything whatsoever. Yet you want me to vacate my premises for 3 days while you shoot a show here in my house, and there's nobody else connected to this house but me. That's what I said. I said, you're fucking out of your goddamn freaking gourd. I said, not a chance. I said, Sharon won't have it, and furthermore, I won't allow it. And I basically burned a bridge with them, but personally, I thought that show was horseshit. I thought it's just like a lot of the stuff that's shot there. It's a lot of bullshit. And that's the worst part about those places. So let's be honest, when these places turn themselves into commercial ventures, yeah, a lot of your credibility is going to start to deflate. And there are places that people go to, such as the Queen Mary and up in, you heard that? That was the spirits going, yeah, them. Commercial. The hotel in Santa Paula that I went to. And I said, with both of these establishments, haunted, they're so haunted. And I'm going, they're both functionally operating, working hotels. You can't tell me that your activity that you're capturing in these functionally working, operating hotels is clear, is without a doubt valuable. And I say this because of one thing. There's too much opportunity for false positives to be affecting your investigation, between voices traveling from the upstairs, through the sounds, going through the vent pipes, going through the air ducts. In the Queen Mary, you've got got about 100 feet from the top floor to the down to the bows of the ship. And there are massive amounts of piping and other things that are actually conduits through the gosh darn top floor all the way down to the lowest parts of bowels of the ship. That could be giving you so many false positives, it's not even funny. And that we heard things like, well, yeah, there's 10 floors above you that there's echoing sounds, whether you like it or not and want to admit it. There are compartments inside the gosh darn structure itself that allow the transference of sounds to echo down through the inner wall brackets or the wall casements inside the ship. It's not what you think. So every time these people go, there's so much electrical equipment going through the ship and through those hotels that makes it just almost impossible, unless you were able to, and this is a hypothetical, to remove everybody from the ship or from the hotel, and you have complete unadulterated access without anyone around. Otherwise, you are fraught with false positives and sounds that are not occurring from the paranormal field, but literally from another room on the ship or in the hotel. It's just impossible to get. Now, here's the difference. I live here alone. I don't have anybody here, and most of the time when I do, they're visiting or they're staying a night or something. But the idea is that I don't have all of those false positives being able to be deciphered. Secondly, and most importantly, as I mentioned earlier, the whole house is wired with cameras. So before I post something on YouTube, I take the time to review every single camera in the house to figure out if there's some reason that I can explain away what the occurrence was through rational explanation. And when you can't, then it's like, all right, this is really legit. And in some cases, get this, I have videos that we have shot where we not only hear the original acoustic issue or the activity, but we find in other parts, in other rooms in the house, that it has their own, for lack of better words, paranormal activity that's been occurring, that has occurred in that room and in no other room in the house. And my example I'm referring to is from the video from 2 years ago when I was walking down the hall at 1:45 in the morning doing the laundry. I'll have to catch up with all your comments because I'm too into this, guys. God, you guys are really. And I was about 5 feet from the stairs, and I threw my hand up, and I'm thinking to myself, spirits, I got you covered. And then I hear knock, knock, and I was like, and I sat there and looked dead in the camera going, what the hell was that? And thinking, well, it's a burglar. I said, no burglar is dumb enough to knock, knock, like saying, I'm here, I'm going to rob you. And I was like, holy crap, so it's a ghost. And I said, wait a second. I'm thinking, I didn't say a word. I thought something, which was, spirits, I got you covered. And I threw my hand up, at which point I realized that the spirits were able to read my thoughts. And then I went through the video cameras all in the house, and I went to the camera in the guest bedroom across from my bedroom. And I go looking at the video footage, and I'm looking at the time code, ready to listen to the knock, knock, and to listen to the source of the knocking. Meaning, I figured that I heard it in the stair, coming from somewhere in the second hallway. So when I decided to go look to see where I could find the closest or the loudest knock knock to isolate the source location of the knock knock, I figured that if I hear it from my bedroom loudest, then that's going to be the room that the source is from. However, in my bedroom, it was the least acoustic signature. However, in the guest bedroom across from my bedroom, there's a vocalization, let us say, of somebody that goes, there was no cat in the room. There was no one in the room. It was empty. It was me by myself at 1:45 in the morning. And then 3 or 4 seconds later, you hear the knock, knock. Now, in no other camera in the house did I capture the sound of that acoustic signature of like somebody almost sighing. And it was right on top of the microphone. And it was just like, what the was that? What the was that? And it blew my mind because I wasn't looking for the because I didn't know it existed. I'm looking for the knock, knock. And the funniest thing is it was much louder a sound than was recorded in the master bedroom. And they're right on opposite sides of one another. So it didn't make any sense. And I think that the source, that the camera that had the greatest acoustic signature, the loudest, was the camera right above the stairwell looking down. It was loud as hell. Ooh, excuse me. Well, Gemini, I love Sam and Colby. I mean, excuse me. God, terrible. Whew, God. I'd love to have him come over. I mean, I've had many a person of the YouTube social media influencer genre come here. I've had Grim Life. I've had Days with Jordan the Lion. We've had Reggie, is that you doing that? Reggie, don't do that. You scare the crap out of me. I looked first at the cat, think the cat's scratching. No, the cat's not doing shit. She's asleep. Oh God, what the hell was I just talking about? No, and I've also had Omar Gosh come. The funny thing is when Omar Gosh came with his friends, Cody or Corey, I'm laughing because I thought they were going to be coming 2 nights in a row. So the first night that they came, when they came over, I made a full big barbecue spread for all of them. And I remember they were all eating and munching the baby back ribs that I prepared because it's not my baby backs. And they're sitting there and they're starting to get stuffed. So when we finally went downstairs to the 3rd level, they're all tuckered out and exhausted and full as can be from all the good food. And Corey's sitting on the couch and he's trying to fall asleep. And when people watch the video on his channel, I noticed that they said, Corey, what's the matter with you? You seem like you're all like the house is taking the energy out of you. And I kept on thinking, no, I just overfed the bastards. They couldn't hang with so much food in their stomachs. And when they were going to come back the next night to do the investigation, something came up in between the night that they were there and the next day, and they ended up having to cancel it. So Omar Gosh's video that was shot here was not exactly of a paranormal nature. It was more like, we're at the Oman house. It was all barbecue and eating. It had nothing to really do with ghost hunting because, like I said, they were exhausted. So it was just one of those fun things that happened that I'd like to have Omar come back, as well as he gave me a $500 cake that I still have 2 years later in the freezer in the 3rd level kitchenette. It's funny because it's kind of sad, honestly, because I told Omar, I said, we're not going to eat until you come back because I thought he was going to return within a couple of months. Let's just say that the cake is kind of like petrified cake now, meaning that it was in the freezer for 2 years. Well, the cake is, if you understand the structure of food and cakes, there's a lot of air pockets in the cake. So it's not solid. It's air and moisture. Basically, the chocolate in the cake is moisture. Well, when you put something in a freezer, have you ever heard of the word freeze-dried? That's where you dry the water out of the content of the product, the item, whatever it is, the meat, whatever, and it basically evaporates all of the moisture out. So the cake that is a chocolate shell now There's a piece of the cake where chipped. And I looked in it. I go, and you don't see the cake right on top, like here, the cake. The cake's like inside of this goddamn thing, and it's shrunk. I was like, oh my God, my greatest fears have taken place. The cake is shot. It's now a chocolate shell. So I said to Omar, when you do come back, we're going to save this as, to eat this when you get here, because you bought it and you spent the money and it's a prop, and you don't go wasting a prop like this. So when the joke will be when he comes over and we finally do cut the cake, it's going to be chocolate shell and little fucking mound of like blob of what was once a chocolate cake. So it's just kind of funny. All right, let me get to this, the most important thing that was asked to me earlier. What's one of those crazy Hollywood stories I can tell you about with a big time celeb that'll make you crack up and laugh? That's just like you wouldn't believe it. Well, 13 years ago, on the night that Lindsay Lohan was accused of stealing and robbing the necklace from the little boutique jewelry store that she was at, that night, I got a call from my friend Nathan at about 5 o'clock, and he says, I'm coming over with Lilo. And I said, who? What's Lilo? I said, and I literally says, Lilo, you mean the cartoon character Lilo and Stitch, the person who does the voice? What? And he goes, no, you silly Lilo, Lindsay Lohan. And I'm like, I said, that's funny. I'm watching television, and she splattered all over the television being accused of stealing this necklace from this boutique jewelry store. He goes, yes, I'm serious. And it's like, when? He goes, oh, about 8 o'clock. And I looked at my watch. It's 5:10. I'm like going, or 5:05. And I'm going, oh, shit. The house is a disaster. Oh, wait a second. You got to see this. I got it. Woo. Not that, you sons of bitches. God, you're just terrible. No, I got to show you this. This is funny. I wish I had light on this, but this is very funny. I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see. Dinky Domino. Can you see Dinky Dom right? Where the hell is she? Where is she? It's too dark? All right. Wait 1 second. I will give you light. I will be God and I will give you light. All right, stop. Okay, move a little bit. Don't move, Dom. I'm not coming to pest you. I just want to get you in the freaking light. Dom, look forward. Funny cat. You're such a funny cat. Wait. Where's my camera? My camera's behind. All right, there you see Domino right there. That's Domino, my black and white cat. She is the epitome of the funniest cat you've ever seen in the world. I mean, I'm going to take this off the battery so I can go roll this around to get a closer look of her. And the camera's supposed to, oh, well. Here, I got to take a look at what I got there. Dom, that's Domino. Say hi, Dom. Dom, are you in frame? Oh, yes, you're in frame. That's Dinky Dom. Domino, say hi. She's mesmerized. I've never seen her so chill. I mean, that's pretty chill. She's hanging on the edge of the couch chair. Just the Dinky, Daddy loves your little daughter, just the Dinky. She's a dinky daughter, dat. That's my dinky dooter, dat, Domino. So as I said, back to the story of Lindsay Lohan. So she comes over here, and I'm like, that's where you're so great at Fight Club. Jimmy Stewart, when I met him in 1984, when I was working at ABC as a page during the Olympic Gala at the Hollywood Bowl, and I was Peggy Fleming's attaché. I said to Peggy, I said, that's Jimmy Stewart. I said, Peggy, would you mind if I go up and say something to Mr. Stewart? I said, and he's one of the few people, celebrities and bona fide stars of his era that, I just was like gobsmacked by, because I really loved It's a Wonderful Life. And this is before it became a 24 hours of a wonderful life and all those things. And this is when It's a Wonderful Life was very much obscure and nobody really knew a lot about it. It's not like it is today that it's blowing up. But as I was saying, so that's the answer to your question. So back to Lindsay's story. So I there's a knock at the door. It's 8 o'clock, and I open the door, and I'm like, and then Lindsay walks in, and she goes, "Hi, I'm Lindsay Lohan," and it's like, just all the air let out of my tires. I was so much just disappointed. Well, thank you very much, Kalena. Hold it. Kalena. Yeah. So I sat there and I was like, I didn't want to be what's the word again? I'm prejudicial towards her, but I'm very much about the vibe. I know that sounds stupid, but I have no other choice but to go by my instincts. And that's what I mean by the vibe. And when I felt that, I was just like, okay, prepare yourself for a long, bumpy ride with this chick. And it was, how should I say, my instincts did not defy me. They were on the money 100%. And it's not like I'm being a prick and saying, oh, you're that. She was a little bit of a bitch, to put it bluntly. She was a raving bitch. What I mean is that I opened the door, nice to meet you. And I just said, you have to be nice to her. You have to be good. You have to be a good person. Just treat her with kindness and respect, and just be a good person, be a good host. And the first thing she does, she walks into the house. She's in like, what? You really want me to do? Fine, fuck it. I will walk you through, because I was just told by one of the spirits, goes, just show them where it was. Just walk them through it so they get a feel for it. It's like, all right, fine, God damn it, fine. So on behalf of, at the request of one of the spirits, they said, this is the situation. So you had to do all of it? All right, fine. I open the door, and there she is. She comes in. I said, come on in. So then her brother, my friend Nathan, comes in, and her entourage of like 5 people, I think it was. Come on. Oh, you are being you don't want to. There you go. Come on. So then we walked in like this. Okay, so we walked in. I have to excuse the lights. So we walked in, and I'm like, well, this is the house. And I'm standing right here. And right here at this point, she's like, I want to see a ghost. And I think, no. We walked in. She got to here, and she starts looking around the room. And she goes, I want to see a ghost. I want to see a ghost. Where are the ghosts? And I remember I just said like this. I'm shaking my head, because everything I've been told to point by my spirit guides and my instincts is bitch. And I'm like, no. I'm just going to roll with the punches and just go with the flow and see what happens. So right at this point, I got to here, and I turned and I looked. I said, Lindsay. And I said, Lindsay, this is real life. I said, you understand, we're not on the set. We're not shooting a film. This is real life. I said, what do you want me to do? And I went like this. I said, Ghost Wrangler 1 to Ghost Wrangler 2. Ms. Lohan would like to see 3 spirits. Can you send up 3 spirits, 2 adults and a child, please? Yes, she wants for her approval, of course. Thank you very much. Over. Okay, send them on up. Thank you. Goodbye. And she's standing right about here, and she gives me this like huffy puffy, and goes outside and starts smoking a cigarette. Her brother walks by, and I look at him. I said, is your sister always such a pleasant person? And he goes, oh, she's had a rough day. And I'm thinking, yeah, I was watching it all unfold on TV, but I didn't. Again, a little moniker of kind of respect and integrity, and not being a douchebag to add on top of somebody else's miseries, because that's not me. Unless it's somebody I really hate, then I go all out. Then it's like, fuck yeah, you're dog shit, baby. You're going to do the doo-doo, and I'm going to roll you in it like a goddamn a California roll with sesame seeds on the inside and outside, bitch. So it was just like, God almighty, I just couldn't believe it. And it was just the whole rest of the night was just like, Then she turned into klepto girl. And I mean, we went to the 3rd floor. We're on the theater room. We're watching some clips of different shows I've been on. And she goes, well, somebody likes to see themselves on television. And I'm thinking, are you seriously saying that? I mean, honey, I'm thinking through my head, I'm like, the machinery and the gears are moving, and the up pops up the the missiles of mass destruction. In my head, I'm thinking, I could say so many things to put you right down in your place, sweetheart. You're not going to be able to stand up because I'm going to lay waste to you like Nagasaki and Hiroshima on August 9th, 1945. You're going to be blown out of the water and you're never going to speak to me again because I am never. And I'm thinking, and then something came over me and said, look, you want to lower yourself to her level? You really want to sit there and get into a whole bitch match with this kid? This little prima donna twat waffle kid who's acting like a pompous little demanding. And I said, no. I said, I'm not going to go there. I thought, so no, let's just not go there. I don't need to make a scene and make a whole to-do. So I didn't. So then I'm passing around this book. That's a McGuffey reader. That's on the front page. It's inscribed from Sharon. It says, to Patty. Hold it. I'll be right back. I'm being told to get that too. God, you're awfully pushy tonight. Jesus fucking Christ. Show and tell of this. This is show and tell from the spirits to me. Why do I have to do this? Why that? Why? Because you want me to. Well, just because you want me to doesn't mean. God damn, I don't know what and you're a person. Yep, there it is. Got it. All right, thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. I don't mean to be rattled caged, but there we go. All right. I'm being told that it's not as effective without the proper props. This is, in fact, the book that I speak so much about right now. Excuse me. God help me. Open to the page, and you can see right there. And somebody gave this to me who I found on eBay that was selling them, who had a bunch of stuff. So inside that book, when I got it, out fluttered this piece of paper. Now, it was not in a plastic sleeve. It was just in the paper, just the paper itself. And I was like dumbstruck because it literally I opened the book when I first got it, and it flutters to the ground. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'll read it to you. It says, Dearest Mother, tell Patty that I am sorry to miss the celebration. I should be back early week. Deborah and I need to have a talk. She is getting too big for her britches. So need to talk. She can too big for her britches. We'll call, I am sure, before this arrives. Missing home, love, Sharon Tate. And again, I'll try to get that without the gosh darn bleeding light that's just destroying the image since you can't see it clearly. Is that better? No, the gosh, what light? Fuck. No, I want full screen. I don't want, oh God, I can't, well, whatever. I'm trying to find so I can get it without the glare so you can actually read it. In any event, it's inside the book. So we pass the book amongst all of the people that are sitting there on the couches, and Lindsay's the last person. And I open the book to look for the note in the plastic sleeve. It's not there. So I'm like, what the? And then I hear a voice say, it's under her thigh. I take a look, and I just see this much. That little piece that you see right here. Well, you don't see, it's this. This is all I see is this little tip sticking out from under her thigh. And she was wearing a little mini skirt. And I said, Lindsay, can I have the note back? And I was like, Lindsay, give me the note back. I said, Lindsay, can I have the note back? And she's like, what note? And it was like, I said, the note that's under your thigh right there in the plastic sleeve. And she's like, oh, but I want it. I said, no shit, you want it. You almost tried to take it. No kidding, you know. And she goes, how much do you want for it? And Sharon says, tell her $1,000. And I'm going, I don't want to get rid of it. And she goes, don't worry. So I said, $1,000. I just blurted it out. The next thing I know is she's digging in her freaking handbag. And literally pulls out her hands, both hands, and there's crinkled bills. There's a 50, there's a 20, there's a 10, there's a 5, there's a bunch, just bunches of bills literally loose in her purse. It's like, honey, don't you know what a goddamn wallet is? You could have a wallet in that goddamn purse. You don't just keep on dropping dollars in there like you're panhandling and give me some money. And this is my purse that you drop money in. And I was like, oh, this is comical. This can't. And then she starts counting the money out. And I'm looking like, what in the fuck is going on here? This is ridiculous. And she goes, I have $600. And I'm just having flashbacks of it because it was funny as hell to me. I was like, you're right. She didn't have the money, Sharon. No wonder you said 1,000. And so I said, look, Lindsay, I'm in the process of working on a show about the house. I'd be really more than happy to give you the note for free as a gift and pay you standard salary, your wage, your regular day rate to be on the show. And you would just think that somebody that wanted the note and whose profession is acting and would be invited to be on said show would be overwhelmed with joy and say, you know something? I'll take you up on that offer. That's a fair shake. No. Not Ms. Lohan. Ms. Lohan says, it was like not a chance in hell that's going to happen. And I said, and it was like this. So this is Lindsay's hand. And I said, well, this belongs to me. And I took it away and I put it in the book. And I just said, and in the meantime, I had some black and white photos, which I can show you. Where are those black and white photos? Right here? Yeah, okay, fine. I had some black and white, all of them? Yeah, that's it, right. I had some black and white photos of the Sharon Tate murders I was passing around. So these are from the LA Times photo archives. They're in a plastic sleeve, but at the time they were all open and just loose. Oh, you want to see what the hell? All right. This picture here is where the house is now. Where is it? It's here. Oh, this side? What's this side? Where? That right here. This is where we are right now, present day. This is it. But on the day of the murders, the only two houses that were up here besides Sharon's were these two houses here. This one is my next door neighbor's, the next door house to my house, right here. Whoops, right here. God, I'm sorry, I'm doing it ass backwards. And of course, you can see the Stephen Parent's car in the driveway. And if you look closely enough, you'll see there's a white sheet in the backyard covering one of the bodies. And then, of course, there are these pictures because I'm just showing you for reference. I have these pictures from the archives, and I'm passing them around. And, of course, the picture of the end of the street or the end of the drive. And then this one, of course, inside with Jay Sebring's car and Abigail Folger's Porsche. And, of course, there's a picture of Wojtek and Abigail. And the same size picture as this, I have a picture of Sharon Tate that's a publicity shot. When I went to look through all the photos after everybody left, I noticed that the publicity shot of Sharon Tate was missing. Now, who do you suppose lifted that from the premises? You know who the fuck that was. So in any event, the size is sick of that place, the same way. Conjuring, no Audra, fortunately for my dad, grew up here in the nation. So I'm catching up with the things since I spoke so long. That's what I suppose. Matt Moneymaker and the BFRO claims so much trash as Bigfoot. Red, I don't even get into the Bigfoot thing. Let's be honest. It's endemic. The Bigfoot, the UFOs, the Skinwalker Ranch, the paranormal and all that stuff. If you can make $1 on it, you're going to have fraud. Period. It's just the way the human species has evolved in this day and age. If you can make $1 on it, then there's going to be $1 made and people are going to fake stuff. As you notice, I don't charge for my YouTube channel. I don't try to get a Patreon thing going. For whatever reason, I just can't do it. I just don't really know how to, and really not know how. I'm sure I could figure it out. I just don't want to engage in it. It's just not my desire. I love House at the End of the Drive, David. Playing the ghost. Pause stamp, you're terrible. You're the first person that finally goes, that's you with the wig. It's like, yeah, that's me with the wig. There's a few other places that I appeared in the film. As a matter of fact, The apparition that walks across the balcony and disappears in the scene, that's me. Where else am I in the goddamn movie? Shit. Well, Sebastian, my dog, was in the movie. He played a pivotal role, but that's so funny. I'm glad you saw the movie, Postam. Share it with your friends, and let's try to get this thing to get viral, as far as not a virus, but viral, so that people actually go and watch it in droves, and we actually do some damage, since it would be nice for people to see it. So glad I struggled to sleep tonight as I get to listen to David at 4:41. Terry. Oh, this is we have to. Whoops, sorry about that. Talking out of my butt. I want to introduce you to my 17-year-old boy, Terrence Trent Twigger. That is Terry. Hey, Terry. Terry, what do you say? Terry. Say hi, Terry. Terry. That's my boy, Terrence Trent Twigger. I've had him for 16 years now. He is a Twigger. He's a Bengal cat. Say hi, Terry. Terry. Hello, sweet boy. Hello. Hello, my handsome baby. Oh, yeah, I can hear the purring. Mr. Skin and Bones, literally. How's that? You putting on a little weight in your tail, which would be the good thing, because that will start the rest of it. No, don't do that. Yeah, I had to give a shout out to Terry, since Terry's, still of this earth. You bastards. God. I'm sorry. I just heard a commentary from the spirit say, yeah, you might as well give him his day in the sun on camera, since, you don't know how long he's going to be around. So who do you think haunts your house? Psychics, opinions, or thoughts? Lisa Williams and Marianne Winkowski, the first two to really decide about the house or tell me about the house, said that there's a revolving door at the front door that I can't see that is constantly being flooded with spirits in and out, in and out. Well, we know for a fact, again, we know that in the past, is that better? All right, it's all right. In the past, we have seen Jay Sebring, somebody has seen Sharon Tate, and not as an apparition so much as she saw Sharon Tate as a physical person and thought it was my girlfriend upon her first visit here. Abigail Folger, other people have described seeing Jack Johnson, the original first African-American heavyweight boxing champion of the world. This guy right here, that's Jack Johnson, well, you can't see, but in any event. Why are you being so negative? Yeah, Sandy, it's okay. It's all right. I kind of agree with him. It's not negative. It's factual. And you can't take the facts and try to paint a negative picture from what is honestly the truth. The truth can't be, negative. It can just be. Those shows are definitely entertaining. I watch them and laugh. Wow, God, I got all these to catch up with questions and comments. Shit. Jesus Christ. This is real life, Lindsay. God, this is terrible. I swear it looks like a big freaking doobie. I'm sorry. I've gotten so tired and bored of watching the Olympics, only because if you start to realize how unamateurish the truth is, the Olympics have become. When you got NBA professional basketball players representing the United States, I'm sorry, all bets are off. And if you got that in that syndicate, then you bet your gosh darn ass that you have professional athletes partaking in the sport that was really made for amateurs. And I'm sorry, it defeats the whole logic of why it is. You get the best in the best. Yeah, the professionals, you cut the crap. The Olympics should be purely 100% an amateur event. I'm sorry. To me, blow it out your ass. It's boring and dull, and it's such a spectacle and such a multi-billion-dollar moneymaker. I'm sorry. I honestly haven't paid attention to the Olympics in so many years. It's not funny. It's absolutely just an abomination as far as I'm concerned. So I don't really pay attention to it. So rude. No, Tara Lee, stop it. What did you say, Red? That's about what I figured she would be like. I wish she would have been there for it. Just smart. No, Sean, It's not I wasn't put on this earth to be a gosh darn, what's the word again? A parochial school teacher to those that have just no class, no dignity, no respect, and little interest in being cognitive of anybody besides their own personal being. That's just, I'm not here for that. I love to razz. You want to see a ghost? Okay, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Nothing happened. I'm sorry. Let's try Candyman, 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 Candyman. Whoops. Up. Here comes Snoop Dogg. Yeah, that's true. A lot of well-to-do famous people think that they're better than God, and they only find out when they're dead that they're not. Thanks, Jill. I appreciate that. I'm comedy gold. Thank you very much, David. I appreciate the comment. She is no, she is. I can't say that, but when I personally experienced, it was kleptomaniac 101. Yeah, as a matter of fact, funny you should say that. The spirits kind of vacated the house when she walked in. It was like, not only was the air let out of my tires, but the spirit said, "The hell do we want to be around this thing for? Ms. Thing, we're Ms. out of here. Goodbye." And they flew out. What did you say, Sean? Come on. This is our love Fitz. She's cracking up. I'm dying. David is the genie to the ghosts. Hey, if you think I'm funny to you, what do you think the hell they're doing? They're cracking up because they find it amusing as hell. Did you sell footage of Lilo to T? No, as a matter of fact, this is 13 years ago. So remember, this is before I was even on Ghost Adventures. So at the time, there were no cameras in the house. I only put the cameras in the house 10 years ago. So it was, I would have loved, would I've loved to have the footage of Lindsay on the cameras. That would have been just solid gold. I'm not gonna lie, I'm digging that shirt. Well, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. I've got 2 of these and 3 of them in the brown color. Yeah, well, at the end of the night, Shannon, what it was when she said goodnight, she goes, "It's been a pleasure meeting you. It's been just an absolute pleasure." And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Because the woman that was just in my house giving me the shit and stole the photograph, that ain't you, unless you have got a dual personality or you're playing this act like you're on a set and you're back to, I have to be nice and say goodbye. And I'm like, and I just went along with it. I said, "Very nice to meet you too." And I'm thinking, biting my lips saying, "Yeah, right. In a nice pack in hell type of an attitude, The shirt is pimping. Hold it. Kalina, what's gross? Ever liked and don't get the door when you yeah, no shit. Excuse me. Thank you, thick lady. I appreciate that. Since you saw it, thick lady, and you enjoyed it thoroughly, would you do me the honor of sharing it with your friends and writing a little review about it and tell them what you thought of it, since that's important as all hell? They're talking to Terry. Wow, that's wild. All right, let's catch back to this. Terry Tiger, the cute kitty, yeah. 21, that's, oh God. Yeah, well, Terry's already lost all of his weight. He's now physically skin and bones. I don't understand the principle of how, with so little muscle mass, he is still able to jump up onto the bed, jump up onto the chairs, and then jump up onto the dining room table. It's just amazing. It's been Ghost Adventure House. It was some crazy shit. Oh, Paul, the craziest shit about the Ghost Adventures show is the fact that the time code is all bullshit. They lasted 3 hours of a 6-hour lockdown, and they started at 9 o'clock. All the equipment failed, and then they had to recharge all the batteries, including the backup batteries in the van, and then start at 10 o'clock. So it was supposed to go from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. They started at 10 p.m. and quit at 1 a.m., and they were out of here in 3 hours shitting in their pants. Yeah, that's how bad it is. So everything you see on that episode, which was originally season 9, episode 1, it had been changed, God knows how, to season 11, episode 1. And it was the highest rated episode to date for the series, and they got lambasted here. So yeah, I don't think of football, basketball. It's all too confusing. That's okay, Nicole. Well, what the hell was that? Sam, Dom, Terry? Sam, Terry, Dom. All right, I heard a funny sound that caught my attention, threw me off of that. Well, as I said, football. Well, basketball is in that, but it's not the other one. Oh, you meant Lindsay? All right, yeah, I got that, Tara. Well, football's not in the NFL and not in the Olympics. Basketball is. I'm sorry to hear that grief that non-pet owners can't understand. Yeah, yeah, Foggy. No comment. It never goes away. The loss of my pets, my 9 past cats and my 3 past dogs. No, it never goes away. But it's just like a parent losing a child. For those of us who don't have children, those are, for all intent and purposes, our children. The only difference is that with a human child, you expect them to outlive you. With a animal child, you know going in that the odds are they will pass away long before you pass away. So you will be carrying the tears in your heart for the duration of your life and existence if you have that type of connection with your pets. And I obviously do, because I still miss the crap out of Fiona, my Rhodesian Ridgeback, who was here for 10 and a half years. And even my cat Tommy, who passed away 3 years ago, I still find myself pining over him and crying out loud and missing him terribly. So it's, that's the deal we enter into when we take upon ourselves a pet. It's just that simple and sad. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jill. It's horrible. It really is. It's a tough, burden. What the hell is that? It ain't the dog. Domino, was that you, stinker? Was that you? Was that you making that stupid sound and giving me the shits? Try to be quiet when I'm on the show. I think it was Domino. Lila's behavior was gross. Yeah, it's some people are like that, and I find it very, very disgusting to be pleasantly honest about it. They're probably saying, "Oh my, Lindsay Lohan, God, bless him." Funny, Nicole, very funny. Well, Thick, if you do more. It doesn't hurt to tell more of your friends. Well, it was inspired by Sharon, to be honest with you, Thick. What do I feed Terry? Honestly, for the past 2 years, he and the other cats have been eating, believe it or not, boiled chicken breast meat. The other 2 cats can do well with the dark meat, but Terry can't because the fat content is too much and it upsets his stomach. So literally, I've been feeding him chicken meat because the doctor said it's the safest thing to feed him with the least amount of debilitating properties, and it's pure protein. And also, yes, from time to time, including tonight, thank you, I make him a scrambled egg to have. So it seems to be the only thing that he does really well with. I do not and have not fed my dogs and cats, man-made processed dog and cat food in years. I just don't. I have 5 boxes of ashes, my fur babies. Oh, Jesus, Shannon. Well, honestly, I have all of my pets, with the exception of my first dog, Sebastian, buried in hole on the side of the hill in deep graves. So I have my own pet cemetery, let us say. Thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate that. Yeah, I really enjoy that too. Child-free fur mom. Yeah, I'm a child-free dad, fur dad. Fur dad, that sounds strange. Any of the figurines on top of the fish tank been knocked over lately? Not well. Today, 2 of them were knocked down before Scott came here, and Scott and I were talking. That's Scott Michaels, and Scott says, "I just want to see one of those figurines get knocked over right now. Come on, can you do it? Can you do it?" And I said, "Hey, accommodate Scott. You've known him for 17, 18 years. Go do." And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you right now. Let's take a look. Oh, shit. All right. You had to ask, and guess what? You got your answer, because there you go. Since Scott left at 4:00, that figurine was standing up. Obviously, since that time, he's been knocked down. By the way, speaking of Scott Michaels, how's about I show you guys some of the footage that I got today that I wanted to. Some of them. That's the one. Where the? Yeah, where the? Jesus Christ! I'm saying there it is. I was looking for the mouse. All right, I wrote down already. See, I already wrote down the time codes so I could easily find that footage for your viewing pleasure. Since you want to see something good in the ghostly era at the house. Oh, come on. Oh, crap. Come on. No, don't do that. Shut up. Get over there. Hold on, folks. Just give me a few seconds. I have to. Here, you see the screen there? That screen there. That screen there, yes. Give me a second. I have to find out why I'm not getting any. Gosh darn. There we go. Finally, you son of a bitch. Come on. Hopscotch, thank you. Pop it up. Come on. Chop, chop. We're here. Wait, thank you. All right, let's see. All right, I've got, here we go. Let's see, dining room at 156. Give me the dining room. Wait a stupid second. Didn't you rack this up? Yes, you did. Okay, so there's, come on, okay. Dining room. I want dining room. All right, where's the fucking dining room? Living room, earth and wall room. Where's dining? We're looking for dining room. Garage, front left, laundry, laundry one, laundry two, figurine, office, master. And servants. There we go, dining room. All right. What the fuck? No. Don't you do this to me. Oh, no wonder.
It's actually I remember that because when we took off, we were gonna do the master bathroom tile. And he had already found it. I just kept getting really irritated and bugged. I said, no, when are you coming back? I said, we'll be back soon. After the second week, I said, that's it. Forget it, I'm not gonna wait anymore, I'm gonna do it myself. And I said, how difficult can it be to install tiles? I watched him do it, he takes the tile, does this, slash, that goes on the paste, and puts down the tile, puts the little plastic spacers, pushes it down, and it's done. That's it. Why, sir, my hand. That was he said, David, I saw your handiwork in the master bathroom because, these are natural stone. Wow. I said, what does that mean? He goes, well, with natural stone, because they're all cut in a way so that you're supposed to take them out of the box and arrange them in a way so that you take advantage of the different veins of minerals that are going through the tile. I said, what do you mean? You just don't take them out of the box and slap them down, you gotta arrange them like a jigsaw puzzle. And I started to look and notice the gosh on tiles, and I said, realize it. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Of course you did, because you wouldn't know. I said, why did that? He said, some of the tiles are just a little bit, it's like some tiles a little bit up above the other. He goes, that's not good. So when you mop, you're basically going to hit a point where there's going to be dirty water here, and you're not going to get. Oh, God. He goes, well, it's an admirable job you did. He goes, any of the bathrooms would have been fine because a lot of the other bathrooms, they're man-made tiles.
It's overheated.
Are you serious?
This is, I gotta stop those temperature goes down.
All right, cut to the chase. No. Cut to the chase. Does that happen often?
No.
Yes. Think for a minor second to have a little respect for Scott after what you said about how much you appreciate his presence in your afterlife. Why would you feel so far? Next up, the Josh battery. This isn't good. I'm in the middle of a guy's story. This doesn't help us.
I've only got 4 minutes left.
It's not the battery. It's not the battery that's left. It's have to stop because the cameras does see the phone has shut down. Because we just shut down. Oh my God, it's hard to tell. That's never happened before. How many times have I heard that?
Yeah.
That's the irony of that. So that's not surprising. So you want, all right, Jack, she was making nothing know where you left it off. All right, I'll make nothing know where I left it off. And by the way, Scott, see that camera there? Right here.
You're asking me to look at this
I'm
camera.
asking you to look at the camera because that camera's recording this whole conversation.
Okay.
And Chen says, you know something? I think you should, I'm gonna post this as a YouTube video, just this section right here, to help promote.
Yeah.
That happening, you don't have that on there. She says, you got it right there. And that just adds a little bit more credibility and curiosity with that.
Well, you know, yeah, I get that.
And-
It's
and
fun
you-
on camera.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I usually know how I feel about this place. I've seen it. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, I've shown people, there was a time, the first time I ever really saw it, I was very skeptical. I was very poo-pooing of everything.
Yep.
And David and I were talking here, exactly right there, and inside the kitchen over on the other side of that bar was, I would say, this stack of couch.
Right.
And as we were talking, this stack just went pow, just went flying. And there you are.
Yeah,
And I want to make sure, because if we're going to do some this weekend, I want to make sure I get in touch with
Hold
her.
on. Oh, God. Mike, how are you? Mike,
All right, let me go back to this, and I'll talk to you after this is over done.
Mike.
All right, bye.
Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right, so-
All
right, stop.
Oh, nice.
Where's the stop button? I pause. All right. So let me get back to you. All right, guys. All right, I'll show you the other clip. Oh, yeah, get it. Son of a bitch. Where did it fly? Where the hell did I throw my gosh darn REM pod? All right. Shut up. I'm catching you. Yeah, I'm catching shit from you, you son of a bitch. Yeah, you shut up, you pain in the ass. I'm turning you off. You're not around. So, as I was saying, you guys got to see that footage that was out there. So, that was what was so strange, is the fact that we had that incident with him where his camera basically overheated for no reason. He was going, that's never, I said, and you saw it was just that simple. Oh boy, here we go. What do we got here? Yes, they filmed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for 2 days and 2 full nights here while they were shooting in 2018. Beatles is awesome. Love this. Thank you. God, I got to catch up to everything. So would you want to be a special guest on a show we do live every Sunday? We would love to have you on a show. Joy and Joey. Of course I would. I would. Of course, you know me. I'd be happy to be on your show. A chance to talk about the paranormal. And of course, let me just plug this right now. The movie House at the End of the Drive. It's where they died. So go to houseattheendofthedrive.com and let's see about getting that a little bit of a viral motion picture, shall we, to make Hollywood realize that original stories are more important than remakes, franchise continuations, origin stories, destiny stories, whatever you want to call it. All of those things that are being made. The remake of The Crow, I read the guy who was the original director of The Crow, and he was just absolutely blasting the remake and how disrespectful it was to the memory of Brandon Lee. Sorry, Brandon Crow. Sorry, Brandon, I didn't mean that. That just came out wrong. I'm totally sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect your memory like that. Let me get to any of the figures inside. But like we said, the one PJC was the one that got knocked over. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus, Foggy. This is the topic of conversation I generally do not like to discuss, which is our pets' passings. And it's just that yeah. Your camera light just dimmed. I don't know why that would have been. Terry, would you stop playing around and just leave Dom? Hold it 1 second. Terry, will you stop it? Terry, did you finish eating? Terry, finish eating. Go finish eating. Oh, yeah. you get dressed up there? Get up, I'm gonna get you some hydraulic. I got some food, and some water. Sorry about that. I had to play referee between Terry and Domino with some food that I put down there. Yeah, Joy, get in touch with me, or Joey, either one of you. Send me a message vis-a-vis TheOmanHouse.com. There's an email and a telephone number on there. You can obviously, oh yeah. Oh God, I promised you guys I was going to do a live audio call session. So, Jesus, an hour and 40 minutes. What the am I doing? So Joey, get in touch with me there. And we'll set up a time. I'd love to be on your show, please. Well, thank you, Tara. Yeah. Winter chicken dinner. Very funny, Morgana. I mean, Fata, that's hysterical. Oh, God. Hello, Chantal, my dear friend from South Africa. Yeah, Africa. Yeah, how you doing there? You having a good day down under there in South Africa? Yeah. Beetlejuice is awesome. Love this. Thank you. Do an impersonation of Ruby, the X-rated parrot.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, bugger. Asshole. Asshole. Cocksucker. Son of a bitch. 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 Crack of shit. Crack of shit.
All right, there you got me from my first impersonation of Ruby, the X-rated parrot. Yeah, well, luckily I've got 5 of these, 2 in this color and 3 in the other color, so it's not like I'm wearing the same shirt every time you see me. That's a good thing too. David, would you ever be in another movie again? I've been at a few movies. I was in Snow Falling on Cedars as one of the I think I was called the what do they call it? The flamethrower guy on the attack on Tarawa. So that was my role in that. I already answered the question about Once Upon a Time. Yeah, of course. If I can get this movie that I made, House at the End of the Drive, out, and I just said there's no such thing as a sequel and a prequel that's worthwhile, but in this case, the whole movie was cut down from 3 parts down to 1 part. So we went back in time. Sam, not now. I'm on the gosh darn show, please. So, like I said, I'd like to see the movie get out there and do another version of it. Oh, that's funny, Kalena, about your big dog. I even have a hamster in a tiny box. Oh, God. Oh, God, Shannon, I'm so sorry for you, for that loss. Detective Aluto's Confidence. Cuddle in a movie. Very funny. I have Ghost Hunt in a movie. High Spectral. There's a sucker for a homeless cat. Yeah, if you find a homeless cat, or if a homeless cat finds you, that's the cat telling you, I like you. I want you to be my parent. No one else but you. That's not out of desperation. Cats are the most discerning, sincerest of creatures. And that's the thing. A dog will love anyone for the most part. A cat, no. You have to not gain a cat's trust or gain a cat's interest, but you have to have a cat's interest. Meaning there has to be something indelible about your spirit and your soul that cat resonates with, and that energy, because I mean, I've had enough cats in my life, 10, 12. And it's undeniable that they are the most particular about who they befriend. And if a cat befriends you, and I'm telling you this to everybody out there, you got to take notice, because you have to understand that they are not dogs. They are the most reserved, destructive little pricks, aren't you, though? Kind of animals that understand what the resonation of the vibration of you and them is. If they vibe with you, they're going to be there with you. They will be attracted to you like a magnet. If they don't, then you know that that's not the cat. That's not an animal for you. It's Oman and Chill. That's funny. That's so funny. I love that. It's Omen and Shell. Already, no Tarantino. Hold it. Gorilla Kids, what are you talking about? I've got fucking video footage from the 2 days and nights they were here shooting the movie. Yes, Tarantino did shoot here on this private driveway. I saw and walked right past Margot Robbie when they were driving down that old piece of shit MG. Well, that wasn't the piece of shit. The piece of shit was, hey Sam, was the Carmen Gia. But yeah, half the sequences that show Cielo Drive up into the point where they go down to Cliff and what's his face's house. That is all 110% shot on Cielo Drive proper, as well as Cielo Drive private. And I know because I have the video footage. I spoke to Quentin. I got my ass chewed out by Quentin in a funny scene that I'll tell you about in a second. But yeah, they were quite, as a matter of fact, here. And yeah, anybody that wants to claim that they weren't has no clue what they're speaking of. Because I've got video and I was watching it happen. So yeah, they were here. Yes, Ramon, I saw one apparition of Jay Sebring 20 years ago here in the house. Wait a second. Dana, good night, sweetheart. Have a good evening. Thanks, Joy. I appreciate that. The craziest experience was obviously seeing Jay Sebring's apparition 20 years ago in the middle of the night at the foot of my bed, pointing towards what was Sam. A little respect. That he was pointing to the property next door 10 years before they started to do the evisceration of the mountainside to build that concrete house. And I just saw that flash of light right behind this shoulder right here. Yeah, right around here I saw a flash of light. So that was definitely spirit playing. And the lights are all on, so it's not that. So that was the craziest experience. You missed the fact that Ruby line was a question. Wait a second, Red, the Ruby line you said, could I do the impersonation of the parrot, the X-rated parrot? So what was I supposed to do? Not give you what you asked for? I'm just kind of curious trying to figure that all out because that makes absolutely no sense. You missed the fact that the Ruby line was a question. You were asking me to do something. If I assumed you asked me to do Ruby the X-rated parrot. So I tried my damnedest and I hope that was close enough. Do you have a favorite top 3 movies? Yes and no. I mean, I break films up into different genres. So, I mean, you've got comedies, you've got horror films, you've got dramas, there's a whole gambit. I mean, I'd have to say that the first thing that popped in my head was for dramas was Pulp Fiction. Loved it. Couldn't get it until I finally watched the first time all the way through. When I got to the end, it was like, bing. And I'm like, oh shit, I just got the whole fucking movie. Now I gotta go watch it again, knowing the key is the fact that you're watching three different situations or groups of people having experiences that are all at the same time happening. That was what was so difficult, to make heads or tails of the movie until you get to the end. And it's like, oh, wow. Oh, shit, I got to watch it again. Now I know it. I understand. I got to watch it. So that was one of them. Blazing Saddles. Honestly, I can't watch Beetlejuice a freaking 100 times. I can watch Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein 1,000,000 times and never get bored. With Beetlejuice, the idea that 40 years later, 38 years later, they're coming up with a sequel. This is about as much interest as I have in wanting to see a 38-year-old sequel. The same goes for Top Gun. No, I'm not going to say that. Not funny. Shut up! It's not fucking funny. I don't want to say, I'm not going to, but I heard some funny things that I was hearing that was just making me crack up from the other side. I believe in a sense that you have a good heart. I believe cats can. Yeah, I think so too. But again, it's not just the good heart. It's the type of personality that you are in essence, because not all cats want to be held. And if they do want to be held, some cats only want to be held when they want to be held. And you have to be the type of person enough to respect that and not be clingy and say, I want to hold you, kid. And they came, well, the first one, give me out your hand, you some. And believe you me, I've had that cat. That was Arthur, my second cat that I got with my first cat, Willie. And Arthur went to town on my arms, where literally I was blood pouring out of my arms and going to the emergency room, where he literally clawed me up and down the arms, because one time he got out of the apartment. He was under the house. I was able to coerce him to come out from under the house. It wasn't a problem getting him out, mind you. It was the fact that I was right at the front door. I had to open the front door, and right as I was opening the front door, and I'll never forget, some asshole in the middle of the street in front of my apartment at 10 o'clock in the morning started blaring his horn. And Arthur freaked out. And Arthur was, used my two arms as scratch posts. And literally, I brought him in the house and I put him on the ground. And I called my girlfriend. I said, could you get the hell over here? I know you just went to work, but you got to come home now. I said, I've got a bit of a punch. She goes, what's the matter? I said, you got to rush me to the ER. And she goes, what's the matter? Because I got Arthur in the house. And she goes, so that's a good thing. I said, yeah, except for the fact that Arthur went to town on my forearms, and I have got about 110 lacerations on each arm, and I am bleeding profusely from my forearms. So that's why I said, it's not his fault, and I didn't begrudge him. I figured he needed to, he was upset. Oh, that I found never left my bed when I had COVID. She woke up with me, and I was having breathing trouble. My sleep, she's still my. I know, Foggy. It's a wonderful thing to have that type of relationship with a cat. All right, wait a second. What is Guardian? Oh, son of a bitch! I'm still catching up. Guardian. Just stop that. Stop it. I still have 4 insides. Of course, the only way you can have a cat in this day and age is to keep them inside. A, for the cat's preservation, for the length of and duration of his life expectancy, to minimize the damage caused by other animals, by feral cats and cat fights and raccoons and and not to mention the obvious, cars, coyotes, and those are the things that'll kill them. And wild dogs and whatnot that are around, and just, stray dogs that are out in the area. You just can't. Not to mention the other side of the coin is you're doing a huge, 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 huge favor for the natural environment in front of and around your home. Why? Because let's be honest, cats are super predatory, meaning they are indiscriminate hunter killers. They will hunt birds, lizards, frogs, snakes, anything that's smaller than them, rats, mice, squirrels, anything that's the electric cat box, sorry. Anything they can get their hands on or their mouths on and bring back to you as a trophy to show how much they appreciate it. They appreciate you. That's all wonderful and kind, except from what I've heard, the statistics that one cat in one area can literally demolish and what's the word again? Not devastate, diminish. No, not diminish. Shit, it's another D word. Not delineate, you son of a bitch. Destroy. Not ability to destroy. Destroy the populations of other wild native species. And that's one cat. That's why I'm opposed to letting cats be outdoor cats, no matter the people, the cat's crying. It's like, look, guess who's going to cry more when the cat comes up dead when it crawls to the front door and dies on your porch because it was attacked by a pack of coyotes. And I've seen that happen here. That's not fallacy, or the cat was hit by a car and you find it in the gutter because that's where it crawled to and died. I mean, I'm sorry. I just am not a person that believes in letting cats be wild when they're domesticated, and they will destroy the environment that their surroundings are in and destroy the wildlife and inhabited creatures that belong there. I'm just not a fan of that. Let's see. Another depressing topic about dogs. I just found out Sharon Tate's dog got ran over by a blue Chuck Frykowski while backing up in the driveway. Jesus Christ. Honestly, Ramon, I really didn't need to hear that. tidbit of history, because even though it's over 55 years plus ago that happened, it still is fresh and as new as it is to me from my knowledge. Even though it happened that many years ago, it still is a sad turn of events, and it's sad. It's really disappointing and depressing, and it's not something I really, to put it bluntly, I really didn't need to know that. That was the projector going off. No, that was the cat box. Good night, David. Check. I will do so, David. I mean, Mr. Beckham. David Beckham. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that, Mr. Beckham. David Beckham. Say a little posh for me, please. You know, she's such a Spice Girl still to me in my old days. Yes, indeed. Craig Broderick, what sort of fish do I have? Well, right now, I've got one large prick catfish in there that started out to be about this big. He's now about this big. And when he got to be about this big, a little smaller than he is now a couple of years ago, he basically disseminated. He didn't disseminate shit, you idiot. That's not the right word. Stop pumping words in my head that are not accurate. I'm getting commentary from the other side. He demolished the rest of the fish in the tank. I had a large, I think it was about a 5-inch bala shark I'd had for like 10 years, killed him. I had a large tinfoil barb that I had for about 12 years. He was like this big. He was a big fish. Killed him. He killed the silver dollar. He killed pretty much everything else that was in the tank. He used to have like 15 good-sized fish in there, and this bad boy. You want to take a look at him? Do you really? Shit. I'd have to turn the light on, but he just destroyed all the fish. And then the scavenger fish that I see every now and then that poke their heads out, they literally sit behind the shale plate rocks, which are long, thin, wide rocks. They're about maybe a quarter of an inch thick, and they hide behind them and the back of the wall. So and I can't kill him. There's an old saying, when you take upon a pet as a responsibility, you have to be responsible to the day he dies, and not by your own hand. So I refused to kill him, and I figured when his time comes and he finally passes away, and with my luck, he'll live another 50 years and live well beyond my life expectancy, and he'll be about this big, which is only funny because I did have a fish in a tank that was half the size of that, and the fish literally started out like this big, and he was done. He was about 3 pounds. I mean, he was a huge, big-ass catfish, and this distance is about 18 inches. I kid you not. I had to take him back because he was too big for the tank, and he'd eaten all the other fish up in the tank. I think he was a leopard catfish, a very large Chinese leopard catfish. And I had to take him back to the fish store where I bought him from. I took him back in a large, clear plastic pretzel barrel. It literally was like this, and he was in there. And I took him back and I gave it to them because I said, you got a 700-gallon tank? I said, take him. And he literally is probably still there to this day if somebody didn't buy him as a big, big super. By now he must be about, this is, 10, how many years? Oh shit, you're right. It's 25 years ago. If he's still alive, I guarantee you that fish is probably about 2.5 feet long. Was that big, and he was growing exponentially to the point where the guy said, oh, they get to be about 3 feet. He said, what am I going to do with a 3-foot fucking fish in a 4-foot fish tank? He goes, come back to us. And sure enough, the guy that sold him to me, he said, I told you he's going to grow big. And I said, yeah, he grew way big. He ate everything in the tank big. So that's to answer your question, Craig. I hope that was a good one. Hello, voices. I asked you if you were impersonating. Oh, if I was impersonating Ruby. No, it's great. Now I get it. Pulp Fiction likes heroin. It feels like I'm hanging on with those characters. Ramon? That's a little too deep for my thinking. That's all I have to say about that. Is that a bong up there? Yes, as a matter of fact, that is a bong. And no, that's actually a prop from my movie because when I was a kid, back up in Bel Air, I think it was like 1970. No, what? 72. About 1972, I was walking with my friend down the street in Bel Air, and where we lived, and we went down the side of the hill to find something that we saw glinting in the sun. And sure enough, it was, I'll never forget this. It was that bong, similar to that bong. It didn't have that stupid cockamamie ceramic base, but it was a bong. It was like this, and it was like this, and it was flat plastic base, and it said, I think it was Sarah Family. It said Sarah Family. It was a little sticker that says Sarah Family Bong. And I was like, what's this? And when I made the movie, because it took place in the 60s, I picked that up as a prop because I said, oh my God, it's like very similar to the bong that I found when I was a kid. We put it into the movie as an homage to my childhood. So that's a little Easter egg in the film. I'm sorry, Foggy, you're right. We're on the Ritz! Is that what you're talking about? If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types of wear a cape, go pants with stripes, a color deco with perfect fits. Dress up like $1 million trooper. Bump, bump, bump. Try not hard to look like Gary Cooper. Hoopa dooper. Thanks a lot, Foggy. You've got me doing my gosh darn impersonation of Gene Wilder and God, what the fuck? Peter Boyle in Mel Brooks' classic comedy, Young Frankenstein. I have to restructure my brain cells so that I take that out of the equation. So I stop referencing the thought of that because I'm just going in a loop of Young Frankenstein now. Yeah, Jill, I had paranormal experiences since I was a kid. Yes. Hope that wasn't too short of an answer, but I got to catch up to these people writing stuff over and over. And never, true, Ramon, you can never get bored of Pulp Fiction. It is one straight out of the box great movie. I'm not so choked up with Kill Bill. I mean, yes, I know it's like the karate stuff, but I thoroughly loved Pulp Fiction. I thought that was the bomb. Let's just catch up to us. I really enjoyed it, David. Thanks for taking the time to do this tonight. Sure, Sean, it's my pleasure, obviously. And again, I have to remind you, this show tonight was sponsored by House at the End of the Drive. It's where they died. Tell your friends. Go out there and buy your ticket to see that movie. God damn it. You got to take the time to see the movie. It's a good movie. Do any of your neighbors experience paranormal? Seth, sir, I can't say that because I am not at liberty to mention anything about my neighbor's properties without being liable for slander. My Tim Cox is friends with a raccoon and throws a fit when I won't let him out. Red, your cat might be best friends with that one raccoon. Let me give you a little 411. Raccoons are not a solitary individual species. They hang out in groups. So just because your baby cat is good friends with one raccoon, odds are the rest of them that are around him and the other raccoons aren't so copacetic. Not to mention raccoons do and can carry rabies, and all it takes is one badass raccoon to not take a liking to your cat, and there'd be a fight over some food or something, and your cat's going to get demolished because raccoons are ferocious. Unless your cat is a 30-pound cat, like a Maine Coon, and it's got long-ass claws and a ferocious demeanor, no cat, and I mean this, no cat can even come close to competing with a raccoon in a fight. Raccoons have opposable thumbs. They grab the object and they sink their big canines, and they've got a much longer snout and much bigger, broader, more vicious teeth. So if that cat got into a fight with any one of those raccoons, and it's not one raccoon, you got to remember, one raccoon will attack. Others will go into the kill with that other raccoon, and then they will kill the cat and they will eat the cat. And I'm not making this shit up. I know a little about animal husbandry, and if the underestimation of a raccoon is such that you think that your cat's safe with that raccoon, he might just be, but the other raccoons that are part of his troop will destroy that cat if they have a fight over food, and that's usually what the fights are about. It's over food. So I'm just telling you, be very careful with that. I never saw The Haunting of Sharon Tate. Socially irresponsible. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to go there with a 10-foot pole because that woman's got her own issues with social responsibility. When you make a book in honor of your sister and you take copyrighted photographs that aren't yours to begin with and are rightfully the owner and the property of the photographers, and you take those pictures unauthorized without releases, and you make a book of your sister using other people's property, technically that makes you a thief, makes you a criminal in the eyes of the law. And just because they didn't press charges to go after you for the theft of their property, which those photographs are the intellectual property of the individual who took the picture, just because your sister's the subject matter, that does not give you legally the right to use those pictures for profit. And that's the damn truth, because I heard outcries from some of those photographers that taken those pictures, and they said, I never gave her authorization. She didn't even bother to ask me to sign a release, which some of them said, we would have been happy to grant her the release to use the photographs, but the fact that she did not have the integrity and the utmost honor and respect for us to reach out to us to get our approval and get us to sign the releases pretty much stands to the point of she is not one to be talking about social irresponsibility, because that's the pot calling the kettle black. And unfortunately, when you do something that's in violation of the basic tenets of patent law and proprietary ownership law of those photographs, you are really talking and barking up the wrong freaking tree. I'm sorry, Deborah. I really am that you think that you're one to lecture people about social irresponsibility. I find that humorous and, in a sense, distasteful and disrespectful in your own right, because, you know, I'm sorry you're ill with cancer, whatever, but to do that, you've really got some balls. And it didn't take much effort for you to just reach out to these people and to say, they said we would have granted it. We didn't care. This was 50-year-old photographs and stuff that we had of Sharon. Why would we even think twice that that would be of some concern to us? It wouldn't. No, I'm just, shit, son of a bitch. I'm looking for something here. Hold on. I have something from Scott Michaels today that he was here today, and he brought this. He gave this to me some time ago. You see this? I don't know if you can. This is from Scott Michaels' Dearly Departed Tours. That little piece there is a piece of brick from the original Tate fireplace. So they used to, oh yes. Well, I didn't see that, that movie. I didn't see any of the movies about the Sharon Tate murders from 2019. I just knew better, because Sharon says there's a whole slew of disrespectful films are being made. And the irony is, this is the goddamn truth. This picture that I made, that's right, House at the End of the Drive, I went to great lengths in this motion picture to honor and venerate the victims of the tragedy without bringing undue notice and attention to Charles Manson and those that committed the heinous crimes committed 55 years ago. I went out of my way to make sure that it venerated their memory, because it was in my best interest, in the interest of those who'd passed away, in my personal belief, that needed to be venerated and brought to the level where they were respected as individuals that had viable lives. And they weren't going to be getting any more attention to the Manson family in my film. And that's the irony of my movie. As you see it, you'll understand that. Depopulate. Yeah, depopulate would be a good word. Wait, God, can you stop that? I'm trying to catch up, because as soon as I'm done catching up, yeah, I got to kick out. It's already 2 hours and 8 minutes. Jesus Christ. I swear to God. Let me do catch up. Jesus Christ. How many messages did I miss? Maybe we should have started from the most recent to the latest, the oldest. Particularly what sort of fish. Rewatch Pulp Fiction over and over. Jesus Christ. Just like they're coming out with a new movie, Chris. Are you serious? They're remaking Christine. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to watch it. I just watched Honey Sharon Tate, Fatima, roll, and ZA. Father, God. Roll, Rosie. Would you like to Lindsay? Hey? And Gene looks and goes, It's like, Jesus Christ. That must have been one hell of a movie to be working on as an actor, I swear. I like The Haunting of Sharon Tate, except it was bullshit. It really was. It was exploitive, as somebody else already said. It was a really different take on the incident. There are no really good takes on the incident, let's be honest with you. You don't make a gosh darn fictionalized horror story with the real personalities and using that into the story that, Charles Manson left them a tape in this. Oh, cut the god awful crap. That has got to be the most derogatory, exploitive pile of crap excuse. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I think it's sad, deranged, defective, disingenuous, to put it bluntly. It's so, you don't do something like that. You don't make, like I said, I'm not a fan of taking historical figures like Abraham Lincoln, vampire slayer, put a stake through your heart and shut up. The same with Inglourious Basterds. I watched it. I was going, something. I like The Dirty Dozen because it was based on true incidents and it made sense. The story of this gosh darn thing, I was like going, yeah, I'm going out there. I'm an Indian now. What's his Brad's character? I was like going, all right, comic book character right out of the pages of the gosh darn G.I. Joe's, rags. I don't really get it. I know it's supposed to make, excuse me, it's a feel-good story. No, it's a fairy tale. It's a fantasy. It's just complete bullshit. And I don't like taking historical figures and putting them into fictitious scenarios that didn't ever exist, because people in this day and age are too quick and too prone to believe such shit happened. And they're too lazy to do the actual to do any research in the history of the incidents to get the figures that this is just a fictional fantasy. I'm sorry. I just have an issue with that. I like real history, not BS history. I thought it was interesting how they used. Sorry, I'm catching up as fast as I can. Hey, Dr. Tony, how are you? Sunny in Wales? Wow, that's good. This time of year, I thought it would have still been very much overcast and kind of, foggy days over there. But I guess you're in Wales, so you're further to the west, and you're not in the central area of London, where it's pretty miserable. Let's see. Favorite actress or actor who died from a tragedy? Mine is Heath Ledger. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ, Ramon. Speaking of Heath, I just saw 10 Things I Hate About You from 25 years ago with Heath. And I was so... It just... watching him from 25 years ago in his early career, it was just sad. I just kept on thinking to myself, I can't believe you're not around, guy. There was just something, a component about Heath Ledger, of his being, and it was something that came across in all the roles he ever played. His genuineness, his authenticity, people talk about in a lot of cases. And what I mean is there was an honesty, there was a truth to him. There was a real, just something that, you never thought that he was acting as much as he was just being the role, which is hard to explain for people that are not not of that milieu, of not the acting industry. But there was just something about it. They said it's a natural ability just to be, is what I've heard. And I was a trained actor when I was a kid, young man, whatever. And I always noticed that in some cases, there are people that you just look at and you just go, wow, there's something it's not only charisma, it's not charm, it's a certain essence that's inside of them that's undeniable and inexplicable. And it's not, it comes with few and far between in people. And so few and far between in people that take the role of their lives to become an actor, because it's an inauthentic. It's something I remember one of my acting coaches told me, and teachers said, you have to take an inauthentic moment and make it authentic, which sometimes is hard to do and you can't get it. But he had it. He just had that undeniable expression of heart. I mean, And it just, like I was getting back to, it just left me so sad to know that he's no longer around, and whatever was troubling him and haunting him in so many ways, shapes, and forms, that he just couldn't go on with his life at such a young age with so much ahead of him. It was just so sad. Do I have a regular Spirit peanut gallery? No, Red, I don't. Ledger, he mirrors James Dean's tragedy. Both died too young, and they were talented as hell. Yeah, but they were also, yeah, I don't want to say they were also, but yeah, they were of different time periods, which is really what's so, yeah, it's not so bizarre. It's just so hard to, you look at James Dean, and let's be honest, the man had 3 motion pictures to his credit. That's it. And in that, what I mean is, it's so small and finite a slice of his life that we got to see. And literally, we're limited to those 3 individual performances in those motion pictures that he was, a headliner on and a star in. That, Heath had many more than that. So it's a little bit different to gauge one versus the other. But both of them, certainly, God knows, had the rest of their lives in front of them. And obviously both were cut short. But Jimmy Dean was only 22, and I think Heath was like 28 or 30 when he died. So, and let's remember, Heath committed suicide, where James Dean got himself into a terrible, terrible car accident. And to answer your question, do I have? Well, I mean, I'm very fond and appreciate Jim Morrison, but he wasn't an actor. He was a musician and a poet and a singer. So, all right, so you weren't a musician. You were a poet and a singer, right? You didn't play a gosh darn lick of anything. I got it, Jim. I got it. So I had catfish. Sadly, they killed everything else, so they had to go. Yeah, catfish are notorious. They are the most ravenous creatures I've ever seen in a fish tank. They're destructive little bastards, that's for sure. Will the film ever be released on DVD so we can see it? Wait a second, Dr. Tony Howarth, or Dr. Howarth. You can see it in the UK, I do believe, even though it's on Vimeo. So you should be able to. Eventually, yes, I will probably get to that point. But as I'm being told now, the idea of making a DVD or Blu-ray is like becoming a depressed, small little community. They're not even producing very many DVDs and Blu-rays these days now, because the fact that everything's gone to a digital download format. So whether that happens or not, I don't really know. Thanks, Lane. Take care of yourself. Did anyone else see last night in Soho? No, I did not, as a matter of fact. Talking about raccoons makes me think of raccoons in the movie The Great Outdoors. I'm sorry. I happened to have just saw that on television a few weeks ago, and I was watching the raccoons thing with the John Candy, and I'm going, they're ad-libbing these animals to the hilt. This is really what the hell they're thinking. This isn't just made up. It was funny that you mentioned that. You stop that. Let me catch up. Bald on both ends. Very funny. I wish I could watch it now. Foggy morning. Scott is cool. Scott Michaels is the bomb. I so much appreciate him in my life as a friend, and I really appreciate him as a person. I think he's great. Him and Troy, they're the bomb. They're great. They need to leave Christine alone. Yeah, I agree with you, Unknown. They need to leave a lot of goddamn classic movies alone, so that the younger generation can go and look and find the original and watch and appreciate the quality of the work that was done. I think it was John Carpenter did Christine, and it was the Stephen King movie. The screenplay was by Stephen King, or the book was by Stephen King. I don't think you can touch that. Can't touch this. No way. Leave it alone, motherfucker. As Samuel L. Jackson would say. I know what you mean, David. I like documentaries about the amiable horror better than the movie. Jesus Christ. I didn't say that. I really didn't say that. Yeah, there was a premiere of his documentary about Heath Ledger, and everyone was just bawling their eyes out. Yeah, no shit. Because he was a once-in-a-lifetime type of a person. You know, it's like when I was working at ABC during one of the events, during the Grammys, And Stevie Wonder, I was standing one way and Stevie Wonder was coming up from behind me and walking around me. And I literally could feel, before I even laid eyes on him, I felt that his presence. That's something that I've never felt ever before or ever since, was when he was like coming, I could hear like people walking. And I was facing this when he came up, like just walked right by me. And it was like, when he came within 5 feet of me, I'm literally like going, "Ooh, there's something there. I feel there's energy." It's just palpable energy. And this is 40 years ago in 1984. And I was like going, "Whoa, this is nuts. Who the fuck?" And I turned and I looked, and it was him with his entourage. And I was like, and I took one look at him, and I literally fell like back in my seat going, "Oh my God, that man has got so much presence." That's something that just doesn't happen. I would assume that Heath probably has something like that. That type of just presence of mind of being. Maybe not. You screwed up the comprehension again. What do you mean I screwed up the comprehension again? I can do limited DVDs for you. Yeah, but I'm not making any DVDs. I can make DVDs too. I'm just not choosing to, because right now, A, it's expensive. B, there's no point. If I try to sell this to a network and they say, has it been pressed into DVD and released as a D, it's like, then they're going to take a lesser interest in it because they make money on that themselves. So it's not for me to take away their money. Oh shit, Tony, I didn't know that. God damn, how to remedy that shit. Well, it's not, that doesn't make a lot of sense because it's not prohibitive. It's not, Doc, listen to me. I've already had my eyeballs up to my eyeballs with Vimeo at this point. And I am looking for other platforms to put it upon that I can get it out there for the audience to get it wider, access to a wider range of audience members. So believe you me, in the next couple of weeks before it gets too long, I'm sure that we will end up putting it on a different platform. Maybe YouTube was discussed with a few of my friends, but I will definitely make sure that you get wind of this and get notified so that you can see the movie once and for all, because that pisses me off. Raccoons is in groups, best to avoid, of course, because they know the strength of a group. And they don't play. When they want something, they will be as aggressive as hell. And by the way, I've seen enough videos on YouTube with stupid people that have tried to, let's say, dissuade the raccoons with a broom and try to brush them away. The raccoons say, "Bitch, you think that's going to, that's not going to, you're going to piss us all off." And they go and attack the woman with the broom. And it's like, don't be an ass. They're smarter than you think. So have a moniker of respect towards them and say, you know something? It's better for me to have a little respect for them and not to try to push them away, because once you push them, they get vicious and aggressive and start to attack in a defensive mode. That I've seen things that just blew my mind, saying, "God damn son of a bitch." Kind of like the one from the movie, what's his face? The character that, not Galaxy, the one with Chris Helmsworth. That one, whatchamacallit of the Galaxy, Masters of the Galaxy, whatever the hell it was, the two parts, that little raccoon, they can really be like that. That's what's so funny. Yeah, you're right, Shannon. That might be it, that his software is the virus software is reading that as something it doesn't want to open up to because it feels like it might have a software virus download. So that's, that could be it. Oh, incredible energy. Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you, Shannon. Exactly. That raccoon character is pretty much, I think that whoever wrote the script knew something about raccoons, because that character seems like the embodiment or the persona of the actor performing that has that kind of that's the edginess of raccoons. They don't take shit from anybody, and they don't care how big you are. I've seen raccoons attack bears. Didn't say they lived, but I've seen them attack bears. What do you think? A 500 goddamn pound bear is going to take lightly a little 20-pound raccoon? No, but the raccoon got a few good licks in until the bear went and chomped it to pieces. But, it is what it is. There was a raccoon attack in Golden Gate Park. Really? Dangling from his, when you say upper arm, That's the long. That's the upper arm would be here. You mean his bicep? That would be a scary thing. Robin Williams voicing a raccoon. I can't imagine. Trying to think about that. Robin Williams. That was bad. I'm a raccoon.
I'm not a happy camper raccoon. I'm a prick. I'm a big raccoon prick.
That'd be like Robin Williams, my interpretation of that. Look, what the hell, Sharon? What do you want me to do? Jesus Christ, Sharon, it's been 2.5 hours. What the? Oh my Jesus. It's already 8:30. All right, look. Countdown and 4 minutes and 13 seconds and counting. I am going to vacate. Correction, 5 minutes and 7 seconds. I'm going to vacate. So we're going to make this an even 2.5 hour show. He did? I didn't know that. I didn't see that. As a matter of fact, Red. Their jaws were locked. Oh, God. That's just terrible. I hope I'm sure he got rabies shots, which are the most incredibly painful shots to get, because the serum of the vaccination for the rabies shot is so thick that as it enters your bloodstream, enters your ass muscle where they usually give you the shot, it's absorbed. It's painful, and it takes days for that to finally reduce the pain. Have a great evening in the UK, and have a great evening. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. And again, I'll see what I can do to get it out there so that it's on a platform that you can watch the movie on, and it'll get greater, wider, appreciation. Sometimes it seems to know and then leave deer corn. Hold it. The raccoons in my yard seems to know. Then I leave deer corn for them to eat. I know because I get them off the trail cams all the time. Yeah, but the problem with raccoons is when you don't feed them, and they're expecting that food source to be there as you have provided for them, they can get a little testy. And I've seen this with other people who have said, the expectations is you're going to feed them continuously. And when you don't, they can get a little bit demanding, aggressive, pissed off, and give you 4, 5, and 6. And I've seen how they've torn up people's screen doors to basically let them know that, hey, you forgot about us. What are you pulling the plug on the food source? Come on. Told you here, and I'm not tired. Foggy, I don't doubt that you're not tired. That didn't mean that I'm not, because I'm doing all the talking. The talk is well. I appreciate that, Foggy, but I'm a little bit spent, to say the least. I've also got to bring up a chair from downstairs on the 3rd level and bring it up from there. 2 hours and I'm still here. It's the 17th of April, and my birthday is. Well, God damn it, Sarah. Happy freaking birthday from all of us, both living and the not so much crowd here at the Oman House. Wishing you a very happy belated birthday a day after. I messaged you before and I had LA. I'll message you before yes. By all means, Jill. Like I said, if by chance on that time when you're visiting and you want to, besides just go and see the house, it might be, that we're having a real life paranormal investigation with the investigators and the equipment and the psychic and the seance and the whole 9 yards. So everybody's wishing Sarah a happy birthday. Good job, people. It's nice to do that. Screw it. Do 3 hours. Red, I got shit to do here. I can't spend another half an hour and then go to bed at 2 a.m. my time because I didn't get off the show earlier. So it's going to be 3 minutes. 2 minutes and 10 seconds now till I close the show. I need one of those shirts. Oh my God, Rita. You know the expression TMI? It means too much fucking information. In my case, it's TFI, too much TMF. TMFI, too much fucking information. I don't want to hear about your ex-husband's penis, really, or his phallus, as a matter of fact, and that this looks like him. I mean, that's scary as hell. That would scare the crap out of me if I was a chick and my boyfriend's dick looked like that. And he'd need one of those. She says, thank you, everyone. By all means, Sarah, you deserve it. This was from Hard Daddy. And I think if you go on Hard Daddy and you look at Halloween closeouts, they actually have these in an extra large version, or they did for like $10, reduced from 20. Cute Monty Python. Oh, funny, very funny, Red. You just can't stop making me think of things. will the event happen at the end of May? Right now, I haven't figured out when the hell the next event is. I've got some people that are possibly coming out with American Ghost Tours. They're thinking about doing something Saturday night. We have a cutoff of Thursday for ticket sales. Jesus Christ, that's a Schwanstucker. Yes, very funny. Sorry, more young friends. Yeah, thanks, Buck. Yeah, I appreciate it. Jesus Christ. Yes, Rita, it was Hard Daddy. Go look up harddaddy.com and you'll see they sell shirts. These shirts, different seasonal shirts, they're incredible. I bought so much shit from them. I should be I should be sponsored by them because I bought so many clothes from them in the year. What Sharon says, I'm down to 20 seconds in 2, 3, 1, 20 seconds to go. So anybody want to say something? Say it now. Yes, it's very funny, Shannon. I appreciate that. What do I do for a living? I live. What do you do for a living? Do you live? I hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, David has left the building. Thanks, Red. I could have done that myself. I got 5, 4, 3, 2. He didn't get it, Rita. Jesus Christ. I'm kidding. Have a great night. Everybody, thank you so very much. Be my daddy. Detective, stop it. I ain't nobody's daddy. And I ain't taking any DNA test or paternity test to prove that I am or otherwise could possibly be somebody's daddy. Not a chance. I'll pass on Hard Daddy. Unknown, check out harddaddy.com. I promise you, it's not a porn site. It's a shirt site, and they got great, great deals for shirts. Dave's not here, man. Jesus Christ, Red, you're killing me. That's Alice doesn't live here anymore, by the way. Hit the like. Well, obviously, hit the like button. And God damn it, the last time I'm going to plug this. Go and subscribe to this YouTube channel, please. Tell your friends all about this. No offense, but if Grim Life has got some 750,000 subscribers, why can't I have some type of nut of that amount? Even 25,000 subscribers. Not asking for a lot. Just get me popularized. I'm sorry. I actually did something I want to finish this funny night off with. I decided to go. I saw something that Sarah Silverman had posted on Twitter, and I said, "Oh shit, I gotta see." So it has a link to her page for her podcast. If you want to be so I sat there, and you get 90 seconds to leave a voice message for Sarah. And I basically spent the 90 seconds this afternoon talking to her about my house and the hauntings and how much I thought it'd be a great opportunity to have me as a guest to interview and maybe even to see the house for herself and do something here. And I'm just so gosh darn curious, knock on wood, if son of a bitch, if Sarah responds to the message in kind, says, "Yeah, I'd like to meet you. Let's get you on the show. I think you're a crack up." And it's like, Sarah, you don't know how much of a crack up. You will be on the floor rolling with the shit I'm going to tell you. So, Jill, I don't ever want to be famous. There is no chance in hell that I want to wear a badge of fame around my neck, because all it is a hard target for people to go shoot at and try to make hay out of. And I am not one of ego and of that stature, that desire, or that much necessary. Thank you. I'm not that much of an attention whore that I want to be famous. No, I want to be known for just what it is I am, for being some character that lived upon this planet, that spoke the truth about the stuff that we all don't understand, and just kind of help others to understand that which we don't normally accept. So like I said, go and subscribe. God damn this thing. How do I get this right? So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter, House End of Drive, Ghost of Cielo Drive, and the Oman _Oman 1. On Instagram, it's TheOmanHouse, and again, at House End of Drive, or at House End of Drive. Of course, the book is not available right now. We are sold out. And of course, most importantly, the magic is here. House at the end of the drive. It's where they died. Mic drop. We're out of here, kids. Have a good night. I've been on for 3.5 minutes longer than I was supposed to. Again, I will talk to you guys soon. I will also probably be on the next couple of days. As long as I've got a movie to push and get you guys to see, it'll be that way. I want to rent your house as an Airbnb. Detective, that ain't going to happen. Not on this lifetime or the next. It'll probably be the next owner if they decide to do that. But I am not. And I repeat, I've had couch surfers, friends that have stayed here. I've had other people that were trying to be squatters that were here. I ain't having any Airbnb. Not only is it not going to happen, it's also the city would require me to have a business license to do so. So that's why that's not happening. All right, everybody, good night. You guys have a very good evening. And again, thank you for watching my stream. And be safe, be good, be kind, and be human at all times you can be.